Nice.
I wish I could tweet this shit
Good
out without having
morning,
to
good
leave.
afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be listening, I want to thank you for tuning into the Gaming Circle podcast, the podcast that was played with Gremlins this morning. So we're starting a little bit later than we usually do, but my guests have been kind enough to be patient with me while I work through these technical gremlins, and we're bringing this show to you live in all of its crazy Skype form. So if you get any mess ups, blame Skype. It's not me. I am your host, K Asante, TKO Asante on Twitter. And of course, you know why you're here this week. There's only one news story we're going to be discussing. But before we get into that, my partner in crime, the evil twin of mine, the man who is still reeling, as I am.
I'm the good twin, but yes.
Mr. Everborn Saga, how are you this morning, sir?
I'm still trying to understand why Microsoft chose to buy Activision instead of Sega, but I'm processing. So
the tears still dropping from your eye, isn't it? Just a little bit.
Why. Yes. Still crying. Just
You're
thinking of how many
times
they could have bought Sega. That's all I'm saying.
Cue the Sarah McLachlan.
They could have had they could have bought Sega and had enough for Twinkies for everybody in the entire world at that price.
All right.
Yes,
they could have put all that money into fixing Skype, but no.
That's a whole different conversation. Thank you, good sir. All right. So, in addition to my man, Mr. Everborn Saga, we have a couple of guests this morning who've also been very patient with me. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. First up, the man who can be seen on Good Morning Xbox on the legend Newcomb's channel. We wanted to have this man on for a while now, and he has graced us with his presence in 2022. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Scrub Nurse. How you doing, sir?
Oh, doing great. I know we've been saying back and forth and talking how we're gonna get together and we're gonna get you on the show, and what a show to be on. So I'm excited. We're gonna talk some games. We're gonna talk a little trash and have a little fun, see what's going on in this gaming world. There's gonna be some slander thrown. I won't say who, but you know who.
Yeah, indeed. I appreciate you being here, sir.
All the slander is gonna come from J-Mo Money hating on Sonic.
Leave him alone, man. He's here to keep everybody on their toes. It is what it is. It's good. So, once again, also coming to join us once again, and at this point, you know, he's not a guest. He is the honorary co-host of this show. He pulls up and he says he wants to be here. We're like, yo, bro, it's all good. Whenever you want to be here, you just let us know. And of course, with the crazy news that's going on, he had to be a part of this conversation, and we wouldn't want it any other way. Mr. One Bad Mother, how you doing, sir?
What's up, man? Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. I like what you did there.
Oh wow! I just caught that.
That's right. Fantastic. Awesome. And in the center square, last but certainly not least, the man whose name strikes fear into the hearts of ponies everywhere.
Hold on a minute.
Oh.
1 minute. 1 minute. Somebody's muted. I'm here seeing in the chat.
Who's
no
muted?
audio from One Bad Mother.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
You gotta check the settings.
I'm glad it's not me.
I apologize. One Bad Mother, please speak.
Make sure.
Let me double check and make sure we can hear you now. Let me make sure. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we should be able to hear him now. I think. I hope.
All right.
All right. Can you hear it?
I can
say something, OBM.
Say something.
Let's
let the chat talk.
Can you guys hear me now in chat?
Please say yes. Skype.
They still cannot hear One Bad. Oh no.
Oh no.
This is some BS right now. All right. Let me check all the audio settings. Make sure I know how to do this. Let's see.
Oh man.
So we have the music. We have
there's another
on out. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3, and Everborn. We should all be live. Like the audio is up
all
for everybody.
Clear now.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
hold on.
no,
It's
they say it
working.
works. They say
It's
it's
on the
working.
delay.
All
They
right.
say it's
Yeah.
working?
It's on a delay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
great.
All
Great.
right.
All right.
So please, once
we got
again,
that out the way.
sorry, OBM. I appreciate it. Shut up, everyone. I appreciate you being here, good sir.
I
From
brought
Xbox.
it to the attention. Don't look at me.
Yeah, this whole time I would have just been talking
This
to
is
myself.
going to be one crazy episode. And by the way, we're PG-13.
It's gonna be awesome.
So I need to put that out
Are we?
there. And I'm
Oh.
reminding myself
Okay.
because I've been needing to swear this morning.
We found out we have kids watching now.
Oh, we got
So-
kids watching. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Well,
indeed,
I
indeed.
appreciate the heads up because, yeah, absolutely. But thank you guys for having me.
PG-13, like how PG-13?
Oh boy.
Well, you know, PG-13 in 2020. You know.
Imagine your daughter's watching.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go. And in the center square.
Okay, how old is this daughter?
Shut your mouth before I
13?
introduce
Oh
you,
my God.
man. I'm trying to introduce you.
I mean, it's your daughter. You know.
Sorry, go ahead.
In the
sorry.
center square,
My 11-year-old
The infamous
watching,
one.
Okay.
and she has to do
The
a podcast
infamous
for
one.
school.
Mr.
and she
Xbox
wants to learn
University.
how I do podcasts.
Morning,
Okay,
sir.
what's up?
How you doing,
Good morning,
man?
sirs.
Good to have you
I'm
here.
sorry it was a little late, man. I
Oh.
just rolled out of bed. I had to brush my teeth,
Bro,
get the coal out my eyes. I'm like, yo, I can't miss it.
you are
It's my
right
boys.
on time because this whole thing took way too long to get started anyway. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for being here. All
That
of y'all.
reminded me of
Thank
the
you
Biggie
guys in
line.
the chat. Wipe the cold out my eye? Yes, indeed. So,
See who's
thank you guys in the
displeasing
chat
me
for
and
joining
why.
us. Thank you for putting up with all the gremlins and all the craziness. But we're going to get started. First off, let's start.
Wait,
start
before
light.
we get started, one
oh,
thing, and I apologize.
Mhm.
One thing.
Yeah.
Xbox Uni is trying to bring his new account back up. So here is the link. You guys can follow him on Twitter because he doesn't have his
I'll
old
probably
account.
wait until
So,
like later on in the
links
show.
there.
But thank you,
Uh-huh.
everyone.
well,
Yeah.
well,
And
well,
Xbox
I did
Uni
my
promises.
job now.
Xbox
That's it.
Uni promises that when you follow him, he will follow you back. Is that right, Xbox Uni? I'm just trying to get you on like internet digital lockdown here, right? Good
Everybody
sir?
from the show, just let me know that you followed from this show,
Yeah,
and I'll
go.
follow you back, man, as a reward. Because
I'm just clowning,
Betsy
bro.
because I ain't
Gaming
following
Circle
back
podcast
no
will
goddamn
get you a
soccer
follow
accounts
back.
and shit. Like hell
Uh-huh.
nah. Like
Understood. So,
all right.
before we get into the meat and potatoes, and we all know what we're here for, but I figure we could start off a little light and talk about the games that have been keeping us a little busy. What have we been playing? And I think I'll start with you, Scrub Nurse. What has been keeping you busy this week? What's going on?
Really, I played a little Call of Duty with my friends. So
There you go.
I got a
On
squad
point.
of folks. I got a squad of folks that we've been playing together for umpteen years, ever since the first Call of Duty. So we'll get on.
Gotta help Microsoft
And-
out.
Yeah, and we run and we do some run and gun and we talk some trash and we hand out L's and we get some too. Of course, then we got some Halo multiplayer. And then sometimes when I'm not on the Halo multiplayer, I just like to walk around the map for no good reason.
Just
The
to
game
walk around
is-
and get into
it's
smack.
fun, it's beautiful.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Especially since I can't play big team battle right now. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know what happened with that.
It worked perfectly during the beta. All of a sudden, when it comes out, now nobody can play big team battle. It's trash right now. But I still love my Halo. I'm going to play my Call of Duty. So we definitely going to get into it. Those are my games right now for this week.
Yeah, and that, it is apt to have you on. A man who is an active Call of Duty player will be very, very necessary in the conversation to come. But how about you, Mr.
Oh,
OBM?
yeah.
What have you been playing this week that's been keeping you busy, that you've been enjoying?
Well, what's keeping me busy, unfortunately, through the middle of the week was not gaming. Over the weekends, you can usually find me playing Halo. I did start up Nobody Saves the World. I'm not far enough into that to give a in-depth impression yet, but it seems pretty nice off the top. I spent the week writing that article. I don't know if anybody here has seen that yet. The 3 big questions for Microsoft, Activision, and Call of Duty. So we delve into some of the questions regarding the antitrust, talked about the Call of Duty exclusive. A lot of the stuff we're going to talk about today. So, I spent a lot of time on that this week. But other than that, you'll probably be able to find me playing Halo again tonight. And per usual, that's just what I do on the weekends, man.
Fantastic. How about you, Mr. Everborn Saga? What has been keeping you busy this week, gaming-wise?
nothing gaming wise other
Ooh.
than being in these Twitter streets. But I told everybody
Drinking salty
January
tears, I
was
see.
taking the month off of gaming. Exactly. It's been delicious. No,
This man.
but I have been writing the upcoming scripts for the Everborn saga so that the artists will be ready to make the books we're going to release this year. And I've been setting up to bring On the Reel back, letting you take all the Skype arrows and OBS arrows.
You know, as
So that we
Atreus
come back
knocks
in,
arrows on me right now. Yes, indeed.
Right. So
Yes.
when we come back with On the Reel in February, all these kinks are ironed out, and I look good, and
Yeah,
you
of
look
course.
bad. That's the
Of
whole.
course, yeah,
that's really
that's
the
how it
whole crux of it.
Yeah, indeed. Understood. And how about you, Xbox
I do
Uni?
want to try Nobody Saves the World though.
Yeah.
Just because I heard it's
an
like
interesting-
Zelda, so we'll
it's an
see what's
interesting
going on with
It's
that.
an interesting, fun, like weird art style, very cartoony, but it's interesting game. It's fun. The demo came out. I think I played the demo a couple weeks ago during that demo season. So we shall see, you know, how well it hits with all the news that has been kind of engulfing it, as it were. How about you, Xbox?
Which
Uni?
one were you
What
referring
been
to? Oh,
I've been.
Nobody Saves the World.
I think you're gonna like that, Evermore, because you were a fan of like Death's Door, right? Like
playing? Xbox, can you hear us?
I
I
love
feel
Death's
like
Door.
I feel like it fits in that,
Yeah, I
that
can hear you.
category.
Okay. I'm asking what you've been playing,
You hear
sir.
me?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've heard other people talking, so I was like, oh, let them finish. But right now, what I'm playing Death's Door.
Mm-hmm.
I just started that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also playing. Let me see my quick resume. I'm playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, Wolfenstein 2, because I think Wolfenstein 3 is coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get through the Wolfensteins. So I'm still on Wolfenstein 2, Death's Door, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I've just started Rainbow Six Extraction.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't have any opinions on it yet because
Okay.
I only get like an hour or two in it, and it's weird it's a fun in a weird type of way. So I want to.
I seen that.
Hours before
I watched some gameplay. I don't know. I had to
That's what I'm
check it
saying.
out.
Before I really give my opinion on it, but I'll you know me, I'll give my little review and stuff on the Twitter account. But now I'm also starting up my YouTube channel. I'm just waiting to get a couple hundred followers, man. I'll get there though. I'm at like 200 now, so
Okay.
I'll get there. But thank y'all for having me on
This
Yeah,
guy
great.
gets 200 subs on YouTube
with no
with
videos.
no
have
show.
the videos, but people
Hey, man.
Got like
the
30
man has a-
episodes are on the reel and 300 subs.
He has
Son
a
of a
brand.
gun.
He sells what he needs to sell, man. You know, you
I'm
got
hating.
to get out there.
No, I'm hating.
They just waiting and ready for when I actually give them content. Cause they know they come to the Twitter spaces. They know that I'm gonna make sure to keep it.
Ain't that a beat?
I don't like fake narratives and fake news, so I literally try to destroy the BS.
So as for me,
Like
real
the
quick,
same
before-
people right now concerned trolling about monopolies. I'll be like, wait.
Yeah,
So
we're
if
gonna get
Xbox
into
died-
that. We're gonna get into that. Definitely
Exactly.
getting into that.
Go ahead.
For me, real quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the matter, as you can see, what I have been playing, what you're seeing on your screen right now is God of War on the PC. I had to jump in, and boy, what a game! And when I say boy, I mean boy. What a game! It's fantastic. It is fantastic.
Only
It is
game it is that you can't jump.
Oh,
You
stop
can't
it.
jump.
Stop!
right?
Stop!
And then
the
after
harassment.
that, you fight the same boss 7 times.
Oh, stop!
And then
you
like
don't
you
need- you do
they
not need
never
to slander this
never
game,
say these
sir.
things.
You do not
No,
need to
it's a
slander
great game,
this
but they
game,
never
sir.
say these things. They act like it's a perfect game, and I'm like, bruh,
It is a beautiful
Bruh,
game for
if
what
it-
it is and what it does. Not every game requires you to
yeah,
jump.
you can't jump.
Not every game
Look
requires
right
you to
there.
jump.
Look right there. He couldn't jump over that. He had to do an animation. It's okay.
Not every game
okay.
requires you to jump, good sir. But I appreciate
I
your
just
opinion.
appreciate
This
Hey,
is a great
hey,
game.
He
and
does
it's happy
jump
the
in
PC
the
people
cutscenes.
can play it.
He jumps in the cutscenes.
He jumps in the cutscenes. Yes. Look at Halo. How
Does a
many
lot
cool
of-
things in
he
Halo
does a lot of
5
jumping in the
do you see
cutscenes.
in the cutscenes that you can't do when you're playing? But it's fine. You know, it's a
You know,
fun
CE
game.
is still my favorite.
I've enjoyed it.
CE
So far,
is still my
it's a
favorite
beautiful
game.
As you can see from the screen, you know,
As you can see, you're
blistering
just walking
graphics.
down
It's
hallways.
absolutely beautiful.
As you can see from these screenshots right here, you're just walking down a hallway. That's why the game is so beautiful, because there's no open world. As you can see, you're just you're just walking down this trail that they put for you and say, yo, this way, boy, this way. and then you're gonna hit another cutscene.
We did not
then
bring
we're
you
gonna
on
fight
this
the
show
same
to
boss.
slander God of War, sir. That's not what you're here for.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'm done.
He's like, screw that, man. This is not. Anyway. But yes, I play a little bit of God of War. I'm actually playing the last COD, not the latest, not Vanguard. I'm one of those freaks that plays the campaigns solely, and I hadn't played the last one, so I'm actually getting into that now. It's actually kind of cool. I like the whole, Reagan ridiculousness that they're putting down. Raven did a lot of the development, so you see a lot of puzzle, weird elements and stuff in there. So I actually like it a lot. I'm interested in seeing where it goes, but I probably will not play the multiplayer because I don't play multiplayers in general. It's just not what I do. But it's fine. I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah.
Hey, Sante, are you?
Yeah.
Are you like me? And it's like, now that. No, I was going to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you guys hear me? By the way,
I will most likely get to Vanguard at some point, but I'm still working on it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. No, I was going to say, are you guys like me? And we're on like a little bit of an Activision strike for a little bit, and suddenly it's like,
delays? We might be experiencing some delays. Okay.
Oh, you might be having some delays here. All right. Yeah, it seems like we're off on our.
Wait, Scrub Nurse, you're black?
Go ahead.
You're absolutely right. I think for a while I was like, I have these games. I will probably play them. Yeah. Oh, I think
we're having technical difficulties.
Apologies. Yeah, the stream may be delayed a
little bit. I hear everybody in real time. OBM is saying he was on an Activision strike, and now after the deal, he's coming back.
Everborn, I think you're going to be my interpreter for the rest of the show.
Yes, and I was answering that. Yes, definitively, I was on that strike. But since Microsoft bought them, I'm like, maybe I'll give it another try. It's been a while,
Diablo 2's back on the menu.
Oh, I apologize, bro. This is so sad.
If I cut out, I'll be right back. I'm just trying to share this to my Twitter so people.
Not a problem. Okay? You go ahead. It's not a big deal. Yes.
I'll be like Virgil. OBM's anger management.
You guys, I can hear you guys in real time.
So okay,
I think you're hearing me through
the reason why we're here.
Okay, Sante, I think you're hearing me through the delay or through the I don't know if it's through the YouTube. Like it's coming through on the delay right now. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe you should listen to us on the Skype.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Oh.
Cat.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you guys are saying. Okay, understood. So this might be a problem. All right. I will.
So mute OBS.
I muted OBS.
And,
understood.
Okay. All right. So I think we're good now.
Can you hear me real time now?
I can definitely hear you real time now. Yes.
Woo! All right. This feels way better.
This has been a little strange. This connection. Okay, but no big deal. We're still working out the kinks, people. Leave us alone.
Hey, I just want you guys to know this will
Shut
not
your
happen
mouth.
on
I still know how to mute you, sir. I have the mute button here, and it is strong. I can still do it.
All right.
But all right.
It's all good.
Let us switch to what we're here to talk about, because I have a feeling we're going to be talking about this for a little bit. I'm just saying. It might happen. So, we are all here to discuss the fact that Microsoft dropped insane news bombs on us on any given Tuesday. And in doing so, shook up the internet, shook up the damn world. Even people who have no idea what this Activision thing is went, Microsoft spent $70 billion? What are they spending it on? Why are they doing it? A lot of conversation to be had. But let's start at the top, okay? And I will start, I'll scroll going down. Where were you, and what is your top line thoughts when you heard this news? I will start with you, Scrub Nurse. Where were you when you heard this news? And what was your initial impressions? Like, oh no, or yes? What happened when you caught this news?
Well, I'm gonna take it back maybe about 12 hours before I found out the news, because I was listening to y'all on the podcast Monday night, and how Mag and all y'all were saying, yeah, usually we have Microsoft Mondays. We'll have something that drops on a Monday, and we didn't hear anything. And I was like, yeah, well, I guess not. Then Tuesday morning, I said, well, I figured Microsoft said it was a holiday,
Mm-hmm.
so they'll give everybody a little time off.
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually getting ready for work. So I'm not full time in the hospital anymore. I work adjacent to the hospital. So I'm getting ready, putting my scrubs on. And so I was on the Gaming Beyond the Box, our little chat in Twitter, and he goes, "Did you see?" I said, "See what?" I'm trying to get in the car. See what? And then I see Schreier puts on there, and I thought, well, yeah, he usually is spot on, but come on now, really, I'm going to wait. And then 2 seconds later, boom, the next one. And I was pissed because I had to drive for about 5 hours across the state and listen to everybody talk about it. And I was just going nuts. Because first thing, boom, boom, in my head, I'm a pew pew guy.
Mm-hmm.
I need to shoot
Mm-hmm.
something. And I'm like, Call of Duty. That's all I need to know. This whole year, the last 2 years, everybody like, we got to fix Call of Duty. We got to find a game that's going to do Call of Duty's trash. Call of Duty is the same thing warmed all over again. And I said, oh, I'm not worried. Phil's going to fix the problem with Activision and all our little problems with, the sexual harassment, the people who are in the problems. You still got Kotick. Now I don't have to worry about him. I know they're gonna get rid of him. So I was ecstatic. I'm just wondering what's gonna happen, and I was just waiting to hear folks get in the spaces. So I was in not a bunch of Twitter spaces, but just listening, just to see how folks was taking it. Because I like to be messy. I'm not a messy person, but
Soft
I like to
spoken, but
listen to
loves the
it.
messiness.
Oh, I love it because it's ridiculous. But no, I was just ecstatic. Um, the options and the seeing what they can do because we're gonna go through it just a list of the studios under Activision that are working on COD. If you can just split some of that up to something else, just think all the games for Game Pass. That's all I was thinking. Game Pass,
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it was a great morning, great
yeah.
day, and it's still going.
Now I'll get you, Mr. Everborn Saga. But before I get to you, let me tell you what my morning was like, because I think connects to you. So I'm taking my
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
I switch off with my wife every morning. Every other morning, I take my daughter to school in the morning before I start work. I work from home, so I head out real quick and I come back with the kids, right? And you're on autopilot as you are. I have the kids in the car ready to go, blah 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 blah. And man, what have you? It's like, I think it's like 8 o'clock, 7. Yeah, about 8:15, somewhere like that. And I check my Twitter. I was at a stop sign, if you will, and I got a little notification. Right, I don't get too many notifications from Twitter. I like to keep my Twitter DM, my Twitter notifications down, so that I'll check it when I want to check it, rather than having to go through and getting ding 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 every single time. So all of a sudden, I see this P3 email tweet, and I'm like, "Excuse me? No, that can't be. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's not even possible, right?" And then I thought somebody had hacked his account. I thought, what? And this is me at a stoplight, just waiting for the light to turn green. And I look and I see it. Oh my God, it's absolutely insane. First call I make, Mr. Everborn Saga. Dude does not pick up the phone. I call him again.
Hold
Well,
on. You know why I didn't pick up the phone? I didn't know what was going on yet, but I was actually on the phone
okay,
with
okay, okay,
university.
okay. So see, now we're connecting
You
these
call.
threads here. We're connecting these threads. So then, as soon as after that, I call Mr. Boomstick. Shout out to Mr. Boomstick. I see you in the chat. I will work the logistics on you, sir. I want to get him in here as well, but I want to work the logistics a little bit first before I do. So I call up Mr. Boomstick, and he was just doing it the morning rounds. I'm like, I pick up the phone. How you doing? He goes, I'm like, you definitely have not heard what's going on, because if you have, you would be yelling. He's like, what are you talking about? I spilled the beans, and he's just like, speechless. I don't know what to think. I don't know how to feel right now. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. So yes, and then of course all the ramifications. What does this mean? What could this do? All of that, And we were just going through all of that. Just insane. And there's just so much more to unpack with it that we all the ramifications, all the various IPs. We were just flabbergasted on that phone. And then, of course, we started talking to the various folks. And as Scrubnush says, it has been a crazy couple of days on the internet, my friends. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Everborn, where did you hear this news?
Okay, so it was a whole thing. I was in the car. I had just dropped my daughter off to school. I was talking to Xbox University about something completely different. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's when my account was banned.
I saw you.
My account got banned. So at that moment, I had 0 followers on my account because my last account got banned, and we were talking about that. And then he said, "Bruh, you wouldn't believe this shit."
Well, no, hold on. I hung up with you. And then I saw
No, because you told me that Activision just got bought by Microsoft. You said, "Yo, I gotta go. I gotta talk to."
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, we had gotten off the phone, and then I looked at my alerts because I get a Yahoo Finance alert every morning when they put out the news. And then I called you right back, and I was like, "Did you hear what's going on?" You was like, "What? What's going on?" And then I told you what happened, and you was like, "And I don't have an account." And then you was
I said, "Right now?" I said, "A day?"
I was like, "You go fix that. I gotta go make some other calls." So then I called King David, and he works nights, so he was on his way home from work, and I was like, "Yo, King, did you hear what was going on?" No, he didn't hear nothing. And then I told him what was going on, and then I was like, "Oh, I gotta get Boom on the other line." And then Boom called me while I was on the phone with King David, and then I merged him in, and he was like, "Oh my God!" And then, because Kay Asante had called him, and then I was like, "Oh, that's why Kay Asante called me earlier." And so then and then King had to go real quick because he was dealing with something. So I was on the phone with Boom, and then I got Kay Asante on the other line, and that's when all hell broke loose. I was driving, I had to stop on the side of the road because I would have crashed. And then we were just going crazy about what this means and why the hell it wasn't Sega. But
of course, we had to wait for the Sega to drop. If you're ready to take your shot glass at 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning, you can drink now.
It's
Sega
time
has
to
been
drink.
mentioned. Continue.
But no. I do want to go to university because I'm sure he had some crazy things going on trying to get his new account set up.
Man, listen.
I told him to do. So what did you do after I told you and hung the phone up on you?
So my account got banned like 24 hours before this shit happened. Some sick, twisted turn of affairs. So I went from like 300 to 3,300 followers, all gamers, to 0. And then this news dropped. And like when I came back, I tried to get an account. So you know how Twitter do. I realized you make a new account, they blocked it instantly because they use your IP address and say thing. And the crazy part, they blocked me for some stupid. Anyway, it was some. We'll leave that. It was ridiculous. But
for later.
But the sad part is, so I'm like, okay, I need to get an account. So my baby brother had an account that he never used. He's like, "Oh, you can have that one. They ain't got no followers though." I said, "Perfect. Let me get that." So I get it, and Everborn in like 2 days, I got up to like 900 because I was there like, bro, listen, this is one of the biggest news, and the reason I love this news is because a lot of people don't understand what Sony dominated with last generation. People think every time they think about Sony, they think about exclusive, but I keep telling them that's the fanboy side. The normal person, the regular person, like my little brother, he just gets his PS4 to play COD. Just Call of Duty. There's something to do when they're not watching Netflix or they're not doing something. That like everybody's not a hardcore gamer that plays 50 games a year and beats third round gets 50 platinums every year and all of that stuff. I keep telling them the vast majority of people play stuff like COD, Minecraft, Fortnite. Like that's where most of the money is. And Microsoft took one of those off the table. And now, well, we're going to get into it later, but like I said, at that point, I didn't have anything. I actually, just letting everybody in the chat know, I am doing a giveaway in a couple weeks. So go to my account, enter that giveaway if you want to have a chance for that or whatever the case may be for Xbox Series X. I'm going to do a PS5 later down the road, but I'm thinking I'm going to wait until Horizon Forbidden West drops.
Okay, that's real cool, man.
Hey, you want to highlight J-Mo Money's comment?
What's Jay talking about right now? Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So here's the
What do you
thing.
say?
It was Sonic
Uh-huh.
under ruse, sir.
He
Get
got
it
up
straight.
out of his Sonic
under
bed,
ruse.
brushed his teeth with his Sonic toothbrush, put on his Sonic drawers, and looked at the news and went, "Great Sonic!
It was
Great
like
Sonic!
Great Scott, Great Sonic.
Fantastic, man." Oh,
No, but hold on, K. Asante, isn't the first thing I said to you was shit? This means they can't buy
that was
Sega.
For at least a year and a half.
PG-13 poll. SHIT can still be said. That's
Oh.
2020's PG-13.
Oh, okay.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job. Yes, the first thing he said was, "Oh man, this dashes the dreams on my Sonic dreams." You know, the first thing he said.
Not
Come
quite.
on.
I didn't think of Call of Duty.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think of
Yep.
all the studios.
Screw all that.
31
No, it's all
studios,
about-
and
it's all
Support
about-
studios.
yes.
I was like, oh, not
Everborn, I
again,
think we
bud.
were almost on the same wavelength there. It's funny. In our Xbox era Discord, that was like the thing is we wanted Sega. Does this mean we have to wait for Sega?
And then afterwards, when you find
No,
out
but then-
how much they could have bought Sega for in comparison to this, you're like, why did you just buy Sega?
It's like
Oh, wow, yeah.
it's not even in the same.
Only 50-year-olds want Sega. I'm telling y'all that.
Oh, see, now he's here
Ain't
for
no
slam.
dog
it's
on
not-
you. How about them apples?
Sega wouldn't.
I'm just saying.
Sega doesn't move the needle much in terms
At
of
all.
like, the
At
industry, but it's just. But that's the things I get excited about, like because like.
It opens
Yeah,
a new market for them.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about this
We'll
later.
get into that
talk
later.
about this later. Let's get up to
Game
everybody's
Pass.
opening
yeah.
reaction.
How
All
about
right,
you,
that's what
OBM?
Game
Where were you, and how did this initially grab you? Where did you get this news?
Yeah, I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw I saw somebody post the news, which I thought for sure somebody got hacked. I was like, all right, somebody needs to reach out to this guy. Obviously, your Twitter account's hacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would Microsoft? If you would have put together a list of companies that Microsoft was going to buy with their gaming objectives, like Activision wasn't even
Close to the list, yes.
No, like
Yeah, Activision and EA
If
were
I-
never.
if I would have
on
made a top 25
anybody's
list, I would have never included them.
I still told y'all, Take-Two is still gonna be bought. I promise you. Y'all
No,
gonna see.
I don't know about that. Nah, I
It's
don't know.
gonna happen.
But but even Take-Two would have been a 25.
Yeah, they could have bought Take-Two
$30
twice.
purchase.
And
might
have
be
money left
frozen,
over for
right?
sir.
Vegas.
You might want to turn your camera off and turn it back on again.
It's because of my.
And so
Yeah.
so even though people had ideas about Take-Two, they never said anything about EA or Activision.
Yeah.
No,
Nobody
and I
did.
think that's the thing because for myself, when I first heard the news and once it started becoming official, I was like, obviously I did what everybody else did, WTF, right? Like I think that was the word of the hour
Yeah.
for maybe the next couple hours was just WTF. Like
Mhm.
nobody was picturing that one, and I personally, we talked about this on Boom Show before. I don't really get too involved in the console wars. I've been, gaming on Xbox for my primary platform for, really since it launched, 2 or 3 weeks after it launched. But I've never really, care about all the list wars and stuff. That's not a thing I get into too much. But the reason I always got excited about these acquisitions was because of, the opportunity for some of these developers to kind of be better. Like I look at Bethesda, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense both ways. All these developers can be, get the autonomy back, not have to chase, silly kind of games. When I look at the EAs and the Activisions and even the Ubisofts, like to me, those are more boring. So when I first got the news, I'm like, man, you're spending all that money on something that's not even. That was like my first impression. I was actually on the phone with with one of my friends, and I'm like, I don't know if I really like this one because I know that they're not going to do anything else for a while until this gets closed. And like on the surface, I'm like, I'm not really like a huge fan of Activision-Blizzard games. I've been totally fine without them. I play Call of Duty occasionally, but it's not like my jam. But the more as I started peeling back the layers to the onion, and it started going like, okay,
To the IP
understanding
onion.
the situation. Yeah, and so it's like 10,000 employees. It's like, how the hell do you guys only put out 3 games between 10,000 employees?
Yeah.
Well,
We'll get
that's
into
another important thing.
Oh
about
yeah,
this.
go ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say,
go
yeah,
ahead.
like, and I don't want to like derail that right now because I think there's a lot to unpack when we get into it. But the more you start unpacking, the more you start understanding the opportunity. The other thing is too, I don't really think it's about. We'll get into it. I don't think it's really about just Xbox versus PlayStation. But yeah, I now I'm looking at it and it's like, man, there is a lot of opportunity with all those employees. They have a lot more teams than anybody thinks. Like they have more than they talk about 9 studios or whatever that number. That's just arbitrary. They have teams within those studios.
Also, they got like Demonware and stuff like online multiplayer services and different things like that. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. So there's a lot of opportunity. Obviously, and I'm happy for the employees. Like started hearing some of the stuff about them. Some of those employees are cautiously optimistic, I guess is how you might put it. Obviously, any transition, you never know about jobs and stuff. But, the fact they can get out of under Kotick's culture, Bobby left a mess. So, yeah, I'm happy for all those employees. But this wasn't like the Bethesda one for me. Like the Bethesda, when I heard about that, I thought that was exciting. That was immediate. This was more of a WTF was like the whole day was like, man, like 16. Like I'm not sure if I like this
because
it's like and I'm like Everboard. We're in the chats. We're like, so Sega, does this mean we don't get Sega?
That's it. That's the first thought. But one thing I will say though, I think that like, to me, it's unfortunate that COD is dominating the conversation about this because I think there's a lot more to it and a lot more interesting things that are going to happen behind this than just COD and whether it's exclusive.
Yeah, way more.
There's so many more things that like there's so much like untapped potential or no longer tapped potential, I should say. With Activision, it's just that in recent years they've only decided to focus on
what other publisher did that sound like
to focus on COD, right?
Oh, okay, but I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So
wait, what did Take-Two go?
No, actually, Take-Two's expanding a lot.
While we're having this conversation, while we're gearing towards this side of the conversation, and I'm trying to get Mr. Boomstick XL in here for his take.
Oh,
let me scroll through.
Oh, my guy, Boom.
Let me while we have this conversation, I was the freak that went on Wikipedia and just put together a list of every game that Activision-Blizzard has released since its inception. Okay, and we don't have to go through the whole thing, but let me just highlight it and show you how many the count. 900 games they have released since their inception, and if you strip out all the licensed games, all the games where they just published, all that. You still have 290 games. All
and you know what's exciting about and that's where it started to get exciting because it's not just the IPs with them. I mean, they have huge IPs that are going to change gaming. This changes the gaming landscape. But when you kind of peel back beyond that, like I was listening to Grubb, he put out a really good video a couple of days ago. Where he was breaking it down in like how these teams really can't get anything greenlit anymore unless they can say it's going to make this much money. Like they can get away from that now. And, Microsoft's got a bunch of IPs. They can go into that IP box. We talked to, again, we'll probably get into like Banjo and with Toys for Bob or something like that. There's all these opportunities. And then there's opportunities for new IPs. It's something that, Activision has been, culturally, it's not just their toxic work culture. They're creatively have been a little bit bankrupt from a management standpoint, right? Like they've been blocking anything that is outside the box. It's not a guarantee hit. So it starts getting a lot more exciting. So where I started off at the beginning and where I was like, this doesn't sound exciting. Now I'm thinking, man, this might be good for everybody. It might be good for gamers. Like even if you're not an Xbox gamer. You can look and say they're going to make new games now. They're going to bring SPAC stuff. And you know what? Grab your DualSense controller, go over to your PC, and you can play them now. So I think it's going to be an exciting. I think this could turn out to be exciting, but it's going to be a long-term thing. The payoff is probably going to be shorter than even Bethesda, or longer than even Bethesda, in my opinion.
I honestly feel like we don't really start seeing this until like maybe next generation. When you really think about the time to close, the time to like
No, no,
green
no,
Yeah.
light
no,
new
no. Let me
projects,
tell you
the
what's gonna happen.
time
Let me tell you
to
what's
There-
this
there's
generation.
going to be phases. Like you're
This
going to get
generation start.
Yeah, let me
you're
tell
going to
you.
get a bunch of stuff dumped on Game Pass. But yeah. Go ahead, guys. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I know. I was gonna
I'm rambling.
say the first thing that's gonna happen, like what you said, they're gonna be like 50 games dumped on Game Pass. There's
Yeah.
like 20 cards by itself, much less Crash Bandicoots, all the Spyros, all
Yeah.
the Tony Hawks, all the different stuff. And like I said, what's gonna end up happening is even if they start new projects, they have projects that was in the works before the acquisition, obviously. So let's say they're 2 years in or in pre-production on a project or whatever. In 3 years, that's gonna be an Xbox exclusive. In so or 2 years, and you don't know how far along they are. But like I said, these big publishers that focus on just one or two streams of revenue are easy bait. The reason why is because as an investor, you know, just because COD is dominating now, you're like the whole of Activision just turned into a COD machine. Everything is just about COD.
Yeah.
Just like how Take-Two, everything is just about either NBA 2K or Grand Theft Auto Online. They don't even give a damn about Red Dead Online. Red Dead was the only game they dropped last generation. One game, like it's coming to the point that you can't sustain yourself just with having one or two good avenues of money, because what's going to happen is, let's say True Crime or Saints Row or something else comes along that gives people a fix, and they're like, yo, did you lose 50% or 30% of your base or whatever the case may be? In corporate America, right, with the stocks and stuff, they only care about shit going up. They don't want to see shit staying the same or shit going down. So they try to, like I keep telling people, you sell when you're on. You sell when you're on. I'm sorry. You sell when you're on top, right? And the reason why is because if you wait too long, what's going to happen is with Activision, if they sold a year ago, they would have gotten over $100 billion. Microsoft got this at a steal because of all of the scandals and stuff like that. So they, like I said, Microsoft bought their stock at a lower price than the stock was worth just 12 months ago, which is crazy.
That's what's crazy about. That is crazy. You're right, because Kotick was aiming to try to get over $100 billion.
And they only got 68.
And that's the thing, and again, this might be taking it a little bit off topic or ahead of ourselves, but yeah, there's a lot of reasons like these types of deals are happening because companies have kind of they've hit a wall, right? Like some of these companies, like Bethesda, same thing. Like they kind of what they were great at, they sort of hit their pinnacle within the traditional gaming model, and like as they tried to like look outside of that, they were struggling to do that, and so that's one of the reasons they wanted it to sell in these situations. So again, there's a lot of exciting opportunity now, and you're right, we will get some benefits. I mean, just thinking about Diablo and Overwatch 2, and
just imagine those coming.
On the point of that conversation of the benefits. Let me share just a quick, and you guys can see it on your screen now. I posted this on Twitter just to kind of get, this is the base level, IPs that folks remember that have been lying dormant from Activision-Blizzard, and of course it started a bit of a storm. A lot of people were replying back, telling me what they like and this and that. People remembering the good old days where games used to come from Activision that wasn't COD. And this is just the boilerplate, because there's a lot more than this, right? Like I said, their full release schedule was like 900 games, 200 plus IPs that they can tap into. But these right here are the ones that are like easy pickings, low hanging fruit, if you will. I heard the Guitar Hero contingency like shot up as soon as I put this out.
That's me.
That's right.
I'm in there.
The DJ Hero contingency also shot up. Mine is like right here in the right here next to me. My Eminem Jay-Z edition. It's still there. I still have it proudly. There's so many games. Gun, Hexen. There's just a lot of games that are out there. So.
Wow. Well, hold on.
I can't wait to get back to Geometry Wars. That's my first game on. That's my first arcade game on 360. Like Geometry Wars.
Yes.
It's still my top 5 all-time most played game.
I love Geometry Wars.
Pitfall is on this list. Pitfall.
Hearthstone. Is your bring Hearthstone to Xbox, man.
Pitfall is your potential Uncharted competitor if you do it right.
Right. So
That's
this
right.
this is the thing what I was saying. You bring Pitfall back and in a way that you completely turn it into a current day action adventure game. So we thought like, oh, Lara Croft, like let's say there's this idea that, Microsoft could have potentially already gotten or may get
Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal Dynamics off of
To make
Square
StarCraft
Enix.
Ghost.
And we're like, right, they could make a new Tomb Raider, and that could be their
Answer to Uncharted.
What do you call it, competitor, right? But what predates even Lara Croft?
Shitting me.
Pitfall
I just
does,
remember those.
Pitfall.
I remember those triangle
Just imagine
booths.
that marketing where you're showing the old, Commodore 64 Pitfall.
I had it.
And then turn that around
Let us
into
pause
something
this
like
conversation
today.
for just a moment, and let me switch up and see if I can get Mr. Boomstick in here real quick. I'm switching the scene to see if we can hear him. Mr. Boomstick, if you can hear us, please speak. Do we hear this man? Does anybody hear him?
Here goes Skype. Microsoft don't want to discuss it.
Stop it.
Yep.
Stop the Skype slander.
Well, no, let's
Make
check,
sure his
let's
audio
check his
is
audio.
right.
Let's check his audio.
In OBS, his audio is righteous, but I don't hear him in Skype. Do any of y'all hear him in Skype?
I don't hear him.
I do not.
Check your mic.
I don't.
Boom.
Check
Yes,
your mic.
Your
Boom, at the
levels are
bottom.
there. You're ready to go. We even see you on the stream itself, but we don't hear you, sir. So you may need to.
Oh, this is cool. Look at you, KS. Listen, I love being on stream with KS. He handles everything, man.
Hey, man.
How do I
Oh,
sound?
you sound perfect. There we
There you
go.
go.
Oh, there you
There you
go.
go.
Welcome, good sir. On the
There we
fly. Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in for about 10
please,
minutes
please join
because
us.
I'm setting everything for the 12 o'clock
Yes.
stream that we're doing, our annual game of the year. It's a big nerd fest. The four gentlemen, including myself, all grew up working at Funkoland
wow.
in Yonkers in Central
Awesome.
Avenue. My brother and two friends are going to be doing. We've been doing this now. It's the 4th annual on YouTube, but it's our 10th annual. It's our 10th year that we're
great.
doing it.
Damn.
Yeah, we get around. We go to dinner. We sit around in someone's house and we just talk about it. We play games and it's grown men being nerds. But I've been hearing everyone's wordage, if you will, with everything going on, especially OBM. He was in his feelings regarding this big deal.
His feels,
a lot of people,
if you will.
a lot of people. I nearly collapsed at the door when Kay Asante called me and said, "Hey, Boom, did you hear the news?" And I'm like, what are you saying? I walked around my apartment 3 times, and I don't remember walking around because I was like, I don't understand what. But look, there are a couple of pieces to the conversation that, as a human being, I feel are more important to talk about than just the gaming aspect. See, as an Xbox gamer, I don't think my heart could be filled with any more joy because it has gone from Microsoft being the redheaded stepchild. No offense, that's just the term. If you're redheaded and your stepchild, don't get mad.
I was just gonna say I love redheads. But go ahead.
So if Microsoft was the one on the outside looking in an entire generation, and this is coming off of the Xbox 360 where their success was only measured by what deals they were making, and now they are in a position of power. I don't care how much Sony has in the bank or what they used to have in dominance in the industry. Same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo's always going to be Nintendo. They have a Pokemon game that's going to come out. It's going to sell 10 million copies the first week. There's no doubt about it. I'm in for 2. But the bottom line is when you take a step back on the industry, and I'm not just talking about the big 3. I'm talking about EA, Square Enix, all of these. Everyone has now noticed the big man in the room, and that is Microsoft. But as great as that is, and an amazing and a conversation we're all going to have for weeks, potentially months, the important aspect is the human element at the front of the cortex, and that is these fine people that we will never actually know who worked under the devil for years
Mm-hmm.
are now being rocketed
Liberated.
to the front of the line. Yes, liberated is a great way. Now, is everything going to be perfect? Well, probably not.
No.
But with Phil Spencer and leadership like Sarah Bond and Aaron Greenberg and Matt Booty and many, many others that we don't know, well, they're gonna right all of the wrongs. It's gonna take some time. A big ship like this takes years to turn, but at the same time, these people are not going to be worried about if I go to HR, am I ruining my career? You understand what I'm saying? So the human element really is the front facing conversation here, and then on the back end as gamers, when you look at some of these IPs and you now realize that, I mean, again, we're going to be talking about it on prime time on Monday, and OBM, you're going to be a guest with us. The developers that are no longer Kay Asante says, in the salt mines of Call of Duty, are incredible, talented developers that are going to be given the opportunity, like every studio that works with Microsoft. What do you want to make? And they're going to go and they're going to say, well, we want to make a new Police Quest, or we want to make a new StarCraft, or we want to remake on the level of Resident Evil 2 Tenchu.
Yeah.
Hey, Boom! Don't forget, there was a developer on Twitter that works for under Activision. The first thing he said is, "I want to go work on Doom." They got 10,000 employees, and Microsoft allows these guys to move between teams.
Yep.
So there's another lot
And
of.
and you know what's interesting to that point, one Bad Mother. Once this deal goes through, you're going to start seeing on Twitter, like we've been seeing. Hey, I just want to announce I am now working with ID Software on my dream project. And when you have someone move to a studio and work on something that they are passionate and really have an emotional connection to, what you get is an incredible developer to lay their talents down on an IP that they remember playing for the first time as a child, and now they are there with their skills working on that IP. It is a very powerful moment for that developer, and I think you're going to see that throughout these 10,000 employees. Now, are people going to move on because maybe some people don't like Microsoft? Sure, I'm sure that's going to happen. But it is again, I really kind of just want to make sure that as exciting as this is, at the front point, or the front-facing aspect of this conversation, it really needs to be how the human element is now going to be for the better.
100%, Boom. Absolutely. And you know what? Let's speak a little bit to that human element real quick. We've been listening to Activision-Blizzard and all the mishigas that's been talked about with them for years now, right? It started from, the city of California suing them for all this bad behavior and all of this, right? And on the flip side, those of us that are in the gaming punditry, if you will, have always known Microsoft to be that company that's, I wouldn't say risk averse, but they want to keep people's perception of them always in mind when they make any move, right? This is not the Microsoft of the 90s that used to walk around and just bully people into submission. They realize that, leadership has changed. Shout out to the Xbox 2. The running gag on that show yesterday was, Phil's a very nice guy. He's not going to do anything bad. He's a nice guy.
Hold on. Wait a minute, Kay.
Yes,
what did I tell you?
I'm getting
there. Phil is not
but that
a
is
nice
the perception
man.
he's building.
Don't let the soft words and the desires get to you. He is just trying to get close enough
don't get
to
me
you
wrong.
to shiv you
Don't
with the knife that he
Phil.
made from
Don't
a
get me
toothbrush.
wrong, Elborn. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that image of them is very important to them. Whether it's true or not, it's an image that they're trying to maintain, right? So to speak to Boom, to what Boom is saying about the human element, it is very important to understand that this company, that in previous years we've heard the whole idea, was it Gearbox, they didn't pursue a deal with them because of
That's a
because
fact.
of how it would look.
They would not dump
Exactly.
What's his name?
I forget the man's name.
And they said,
Magic
okay, so
Man.
if he's not going, we're
That's
not
right.
buying.
You know, they're.
Hey, by the way, just real quick, I see Slow Mo and Hustle and Motivating Big
yes,
Mo
yes.
in the
Shout out
chat.
to
I
you
just wanted to
guys,
say
yes.
shout out to those guys. And I see the Sonic slander Slow Mo.
Breaking news:
not gonna
Microsoft
fly.
acquires the Sonic IP from Sega and used it to kick up a gun.
Hey, Slow Mo.
Of course.
Slow Mo, you know, I have mod
Oh, here we
privileges
go.
on
But so
this
does he,
channel.
actually.
You can be banned real
So
quick
does he,
for that
actually.
kind of Sonic talk. God damn it.
No, but to Boom's point, you know, they would not take this on unless they knew what they were getting into, because they are very, very,
that's
very,
correct.
very much
Yeah.
like conscious of their perception in the market.
Yes.
Right. So they
Yeah,
knew,
absolutely.
you know,
Excellent.
we already knew that Kotek's name was mud, causing Activision to go downhill, all of that. And still Microsoft decided to do this instead of getting the safer choice. Right. So, you know, for all those out there, and I've been seeing a lot of takes, you know, a lot of takes from people we respect, a lot of takes from people we might not respect as much. You know, the latest take I saw was from Colin Moriarty, you know, and his thoughts on the matter. You know, the human element is very important in this, right? And I can disagree with everybody as much as possible, but you cannot disagree that this happening will make a better work-life environment for the people that work there.
Well, there's another thing, and there was a Bloomberg report about this.
Cautiously
I think
optimistic,
Jason
and all that,
Schreier reported it. Right. People are sort of excited about this because, again, I get it. Big, you know, billion, trillion-dollar corporation. I see you, Sniper. I see you. No, but you know, this idea that they will be, and Phil was very clear to point out, Activision will report to me,
CEO of Xbox Gaming,
right, for the watch, right, but he, you know, the people there will also get opportunities to work on other things besides this yearly churn of COD. So a lot of people think this is as simple as, oh, they just bought their way to the top. There's a lot of work to do here to turn around the culture of this company and actually produce other things. So we can't say, oh, this was lazy, they just spent a lot of money. No, they have to come in here, turn around the whole culture of the company, and then get them working on new IPs that will be shepherded. But listen, one of the things that Bobby Kay said that they were really lacking at Activision was the technology piece. It was the AI. It was the cloud. It was the infrastructure. So when Microsoft comes in and provides those things and gives these people the creative freedom and then greenlight projects that Activision wouldn't have had, that is a net positive, and that is good, and it takes work. So it's not people that want to tell you, oh, they're just buying their way to the top. No, they're spending the money and then doing the work.
Stop.
Now
Look,
we'll see
Everborn, that's
how
one problem I
effective they
have.
are.
You acknowledge these ridiculous narratives. Don't do that, man.
Yeah, I know.
Don't do that, man. Because if you look at the opposition, the competitor, that like I saw a tweet out that showed every year all of the various PlayStation studios were acquired. That's not a real narrative. That doesn't really matter. And when you acknowledge it, then it gives it voice. And it doesn't need voice because that's just stupidity. The people who are thinking that, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to acknowledge one more
go ahead,
narrative.
go ahead.
One more narrative. And then
You just gotta learn how to mute,
You know?
Everborn. I gotta teach you. Someday we're coming over to your.
We have to
I'm
help you
coming
with your
over. We're just
Twitter.
gonna go to your
That's right.
Twitter. We're gonna go mute.
Show me how to mute buttons. But listen, here's the thing. Before we talk about, because I know there's this whole doom and gloom and
We'll get
antitrust
there.
thing, which
Yes,
I
we're
do
gonna
want to
get
talk
to that
about
too.
because
We'll get there.
there's a cynical view of it. But again, I just want to point out Sony owns Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Amniplex. Nobody says
nothing. Yeah.
word.
Because that's not where these people that you're talking about play. That's not where they that's not
furthermore,
that's not what matters to them.
Furthermore, we have seen Sony abuse their position in the marketplace.
And they continue to.
Well,
right? Where is Street Fighter? Where is Final Fantasy? Where is Persona? Where are all these other games? And why is Epic? And I'm gonna give you the mic real quick, University. Why does Epic have to pay PlayStation a percentage of all sales, even if they didn't take place on Sony? That is because of their market position. They've done that. And they're being, I'm not talking, forget about the consumer. I'm just saying it's anti-competitive practices that they are doing to leverage their position in the market. All of that's fine. So now they're in a position where they're not number one and they can't abuse that. And here
Slow-mo makes a good point.
Yeah, I mean,
exclusives are great unless it's against you, you know.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, but you're right, Everborn. Like, but at the end of the day, we've said it before too on Boom Show. Like, it's just business, right? Like I don't get mad at Sony for using their market share, their long time in the industry, the relationships they built to leverage that to money hat. It's business. Like they have a duty to their shareholders.
I don't mean to interrupt,
build the
but
business.
Mr. Boomstick has to break out. He's getting ready for his show. Are you still on, Boom?
Oh no. Okay.
Are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here, brother. I just want to thank
go ahead.
everybody.
Good seeing you, Boom.
Thank you so much for supporting these guys. The Gaming Circle podcast is growing in ways that I saw coming. I don't know anyone else saw coming, but please, if you're not if you're not subscribed, you're doing it wrong. These guys put in great work every week. The conversation is honest, it's fun, and it's slanderous, and you can only get that. But gentlemen, enjoy the rest of the day. OBM, Scrub Nurse, Scrub Nurse, we got to get you on a prime time coming up. So you got to DM me, let me know what your schedule looks like. And Everborn, Keasante, OBM, I will see you tomorrow night.
Thank you so much for jumping in, good sir.
Thank you. Monday evening.
Monday
night.
man. Yeah.
And
you don't mind if I
enjoy the rest of the day, guys.
Can I come on Monday or what?
Oh, here he go. There he goes.
You know what? I mean, we already have two guests. You know what?
Okay,
DM me. We'll figure it out if we can do the following week or the week after. But we'll definitely get you on, brother. Because last time you were on, you didn't get a chance to give us your full spiel. So get that. But guys,
thank you, Boom. We will be checking out the show at 12. He's doing his Game of the Year show. It's going to be fun. I'm as soon as we're done here, that's what I'll be watching, and I expect all of you will be doing the same as well. Thank you, Boom, for jumping in. And here we go. Now it's back to just the five of us. But I'm sorry there, Mr. OBM. Go ahead and continue.
No, I did want to add something though to what Boom was saying about the employees, because it is interesting, and this maybe ties into Jez's ivory tower comment, but it was interesting, like some of the comments that were coming from some people in the media about how bad this was for the employees and things like that. And I had I have a developer friend that I know a few developers out there, but one of them, like I said on Twitter, says, why don't you ask the employees, because everything you've been hearing from
Jason Schreier and these bastards. Like get a quote, you bastard. You're a goddamn journalist. But instead you're telling us your
PG-13,
opinion.
sir.
PG-13. I'm sorry. Bastard isn't a bad word, is it?
But
before
somebody goes,
okay.
Before people start talking about like this is bad for for these employees or for the industry, it's bad for Sony right now. And it's competition. I understand that. I think Sony's still going to be fine. They're still going to make money. They're going to be around for a long, long time in gaming. But this is bad for them right now. And obviously, nothing's showed that more than the fact
like to your point. Let's have that conversation, because I've heard.
I wish people were more honest about what they're concerned
about.
We've been hearing all the bad for Sony, and this is bad, and that's bad. Let's head down that path and have an actual constructive conversation about that. I'll let you speak, University. Let me frame the conversation real quick. So we've obviously been hearing a lot of people talking about it. Like I mentioned Colin's comments on it. There have been a lot of other people talking about it. Jez Corden on Xbox 2 yesterday said that it is in PlayStation, it's in Xbox's best interest to keep a strong PlayStation, because he had this thought experiment where, right now, and I'll let you speak, I promise. Let me just frame it real quick. Right now, imagine Activision-Blizzard gone from PlayStation. They pull Warzone, and then it tanks the PlayStation stock, and then all of a sudden it makes them a target for your Googles or your Apple or your Tencent or whatever. You don't want to live in a world where they are bought out by them, right? And I will give everybody their time to give their opinion. My opinion on it is it's ridiculous because Activision-Blizzard is not PlayStation. What did Activision-Blizzard do?
No.
They filed all of their creativity away to work in the salt mines of Call of Duty. That's what they did, right? Vicarious Visions, you did a great job. All this insane trilogy, you did wonderful. What's your reward? Call of Duty Support Studio. High Moon Studios, awesome remake of Tony Hawk remake. Such a great game. Look, the realistic. You're able to keep the mechanics working. Everyone loved it. What's your reward? Call of Duty Mines. Raven Softworks, to this day, until Insomniac proves me wrong, which they probably will, to this day, until Insomniac's game comes out, Raven Softworks made the best Wolverine game to date. They are a legendary franchise known in the environment, not to mention the Transformers games from all of their studios. All of that. What are their rewards? Call of Duty Mines, right? PlayStation, to their credit, have not done so. Right? They don't do so. I actually personally think that PlayStation possibly, and we'll get to that tweet that he posted that Phil Spencer tweeted later, but possibly if they do lose Call of Duty, that would be great for PlayStation. And I'll tell you why. Everyone is complacent. These money-making entities get used to, okay, well, our bread is buttered through Fortnite and Call of Duty. And they do whatever they can to hold them tightly with the grip of 1,000 suns to make sure they don't lose that. When PlayStation hits a curve, what happens? They innovate. Just like when Xbox had a pink eye, what happened? They innovated. That's where you got your Game Pass from. PlayStation will not take this lying down. Even with Phil's comments about we desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation and all of that, this has put them on notice that they can no longer rely on Call of Duty as their bread and butter. So they, if they're smart, which we all know they are in the lab right now innovating. Maybe this is how you get your SOCOM to replace Call of Duty. Maybe this is how they put more emphasis in those areas. There is no way where, Call of Duty's gone now, our stock creators, we sit there with our hands in the air and go, woe is me, until we're bought out by someone else. That is my opinion. OBM, we'll start with you. This negative stuff that you hear coming about.
Okay, I'll be right back then. Give me 10 minutes.
Okay. We'll start with you. All this negativity you hear in the market about this will be bad for creativity, bad for gaming. What is your opinion on that? Let's get into that.
Yeah, I wish there was an hour to kind of talk about markets and economics and things like that. And people look at this like in a really, really narrow vacuum. And this kind of ties into the antitrust stuff and all that. Right now where gaming is, it is growing. It is going through a paradigm change. You have more people entering than ever before. And when you start creating these vacuums because you pull this, because Activision goes and does something else or leaves this platform, you're actually creating a lot of opportunity for a lot of these other developers and publishers that are starting up right now to kind of fill that. And I would even argue, and this probably ties more to the, more to whether or not Call of Duty stays on the PlayStation. Call of Duty leaving that will create a vacuum on the PlayStation, which, Call of Duty is not just a game. It's a social platform. It's something that people buy every single year because that's where their friends are going to be at. And if you take that away, there's going to be a segment of gamers that will leave and go over there or maybe add the Xbox. There's going to be a big segment of gamers that won't. They'll just find another social platform to jump on, which actually creates opportunity for Sony. Like you were just saying, I think you did a good job setting that up. They have their own multiplayer shooters. They have Gaz games in development right now. My damn cat. And good Lord, he's just such a jerk. When I start talking, he thinks
you are a national treasure, good sir. I'm sorry. Continue.
That cat is such a jerk. When he hears me talking, it's like, oh, it's my turn. But yeah, there's going to be opportunities for Sony to start building up, to take that base, move it over to first-party IPs which they own, and again, this, like for Activision and Blizzard and King, this acquisition is really more about
King,
the next
though.
paradigm.
Nobody talks about King. Oh
No,
my God.
they don't. It's really
Money
about
maker.
this next. Yeah, they are. It's about a new paradigm. It's beyond just. This isn't just about PlayStation. Microsoft doesn't want to. They want to compete with PlayStation. They want to probably be number one over PlayStation. They don't want to destroy PlayStation because it would that would create a void, or weakening them to, like what you were saying. What if Apple comes in there and buys them, or what if Facebook or one of these other big tech companies gets in there? Right now, like you heard Phil's comments, and I especially these ones he puts out there into the ether. That are lawyers are watching and everything. Like they know what they're. He's trying to tell the industry, like, hey, our goal isn't to destroy them. Even from their standpoint, their strategies right now with Nintendo and Sony and Valve, they've kind of got this nice little synergy between the four of them, where like this industry is growing and they continue to grow with it, but they have enough they're kind of squeezing out the other big tech companies. Like Google couldn't find a space to come in here, and Amazon's probably looking at this and like
shivering in
maybe
their
this
boots.
just isn't. Yeah, it's like maybe we're not going to jump in the spool because there doesn't look to be a lot of space. But now you weaken Sony, there is space, right? Then there's an opportunity.
But you really genuinely think that this is weakening Sony?
It's all relative,
really
right? Like
weakening Sony? I don't know about that.
Well, no. So again, this is all relative. It's Sony short term. Are they going to if you pull Call of Duty from the platform, and I'm not convinced that's going to happen, by the way. If you pulled Call of Duty from the platform, would you would you kind of kneecap them at least somewhat? Yeah. I mean, because I would say Call of Duty drives a lot of their online revenue, like the fact people even subscribe to PS Now, which is also part of their strategies because they're going to tie that into their subscription to get people to kind of like upgrade their PS Plus or whatever. So like there's it's going to cost them. I mean, it is a lot of volume. It is something that drives a certain market. But then you look back at the PlayStation 2. And back then, Activision, obviously Guitar Hero was big back then, but Call of Duty was like nothing.
They did call Guitar Hero out in this thing. So how dead is that franchise?
It's come.
It's not that dead.
Yeah, I mean, no, and that shows you how things. Yeah, that shows you how things like change though, because back then you would have said, "Oh, you can't pull Guitar Hero from it." Now, like they're not making Guitar Hero. Things are going to continue to change. There's always going to be different trends. And there's a lot of different threats. So yeah, it will weaken them, but it may also be the thing. Just like when we look back at Microsoft and Xbox now, the fact that they got weakened over the Xbox One
forced them to innovate, forced them to look within themselves and go, hey, we can do this better. Let's get somewhere where we can really make this could bring about day and date on Spartacus.
There's a lot of things that could do, like it forces them to be aggressive, and that's the thing that's bothered. Like I understand as a game, if you're a gamer, if you're a PlayStation gamer, you have a right to be bothered. I'm not going to tell a consumer. You have the right to feel however you want to feel and be mad at whoever you want to be mad at. But for educated,
how many of us
educated
got
journalists
when all these? I still am waiting for Final Fantasy.
I mean, whatever. It's first world.
It is what it is.
Right. It's first world.
Indeed,
it's first world problems,
indeed.
right?
We're used to it, though. We're used to it. There's a difference.
Yeah. I don't celebrate the salt or whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the business. You accept that. And the thing is, I look at some of the journalists and I think, like Jez, he got in trouble for his comment, and then we know who that was directed to. It was probably directed to one person. But like these people that have that credibility do seem to be like feeding this sort of anxiety to people that don't understand economics. They don't this is an example of consolidation. The industry itself is expanding though. Like there's more platforms than there ever has been. There's more developers this year than there was the year before and the year before that. The democratization for
the
developers
tools being used is so easy to get access to that it's popping up indie devs everywhere.
The tools.
Yeah, and AA developers are coming back now, right? And a lot of that is actually because of subscriptions too. But there's a lot of expansion. There's a lot of diversity happening now that was not happening last generation when free to play and the giant tentpole gas games really took over the AAA market and most of the revenue. So like it's actually better now than it was. But during that period, there is going to be companies that basically were the winners in the last type of business model, the last paradigm, that are going to need that maybe they don't fit, they don't have room to grow, and Activision is one of them, right? What they were doing wasn't sustainable. It's not sustainable with where things are going, and that's just part of any industry. Any industry is going to go through over time. You're going to have change. You're going to have companies that no longer can be great and or can grow, and they're going to consolidate, but there's going to be other ones that can step in. And right now gaming is more exciting than ever before, but again, people are really, really focused on this PlayStation versus Xbox. The industry is so much bigger than that, and the reason these tech companies are jumping in is because they see that it's going to the walls, the idea that you needed a plastic box to bring in people for AAA gaming, we're going to be well beyond. And
you know what, OBM,
so
you're absolutely right. I actually think that COVID helped crystallize that for a lot of them. When you can't go anywhere and you can't do much, what do? You game, and it's created more gamers, COVID has, than ever before. Xbox Junior, I see you're back in the mix. Yeah. What is your opinion? So basically, all the negativity, the negative press, you hear it all the time in your spaces, right? Oh, this is bad for the industry. This is bad for creativity. This is bad. What is your opinion on the case? Make the case.
Okay, my opinion is kind of similar to what Everbone was saying. We were talking about this before, which is, think about this for a second. No matter what scenario you come up with, Microsoft gobbles up 2 more publishers. It's not worse than Xbox disappearing from the console space completely. But somehow, some way, these journalists, all these people who are so negative, they were fine with that. They were fine with nobody buying an Xbox. They were fine with Xbox dying.
Yeah, that never became part of the conversation, right? That was
nobody never said, damn, without Xbox, Sony will have a monopoly over the console market. Yeah. Nobody said that. Nobody said, damn, that's bad for business. Like the way how Sony is using their top spot in the market.
Sony needs a strong PlayStation. Sony needs a strong Microsoft, a strong Xbox.
Yeah, but so now I know there's people like Jez, the way they're framing it is like, Microsoft needs to be in 3rd place. Microsoft need like if Xbox should never try to what's the word I'm looking for, to move up. Like it's a business, it's a competition. They want to be number 1 just like how Sony want to be number 1. Just like how Tencent wants to be number 1. And the thing that really pisses me off, like I said, is because of course the thing with Sony where they own all of the anime distribution channels for the entire Western world. And nobody says a thing. And the reason why that went through is because they used this little loophole talking about, oh, well, yes, technically it's anime, but anime isn't its own. The law doesn't recognize anime as its own thing. Anime is just part of a bigger whole. Yep. Yeah, it's just part of a bigger whole when it comes to what you call it. Not interactive media. It's oh God, you know what I'm talking about? Like TV, like media. That form of TV. Now with interactive media. The reason why Microsoft will get this and they will go get a next publisher is because they have an army of lawyers, and let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to argue the same thing that Sony argued. Technically, yes, you could say, oh, they're building a monopoly over the console market or whatever, but the console gaming market isn't its own genre. Like, it's all interactive media. So they have to put all the interactive media pie together and see how much does Microsoft control. Not even they don't even control 5%, because when you look at mobile gaming, when you look at PC gaming, when you look at console gaming, that's only a small, tiny piece. The console gaming is the smallest piece. You see what I'm saying? Then there's cloud gaming, there's VR gaming, there's all type of different interactive media that goes on. And even if Microsoft buys something else, like I said, do they own 50% of the interactive media market?
not at
No,
all.
they don't.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, they're not even close. So people are saying this because they're butthurt. Like I said, at the end of the day, Sony nearly drove Xbox into the ground, and I didn't see any articles about how this could be terrible for gamers, because without Xbox to keep Sony could have charged us $130 a goddamn game without Xbox there. Like, imagine if there was no Game Pass right now. Imagine if there was no backwards compatibility from Xbox right now. Sony would have told you, shit, you want to play with PS4 games? Too bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, like, I don't want a monopoly in either direction. That's true. But it's hard for me to feel sorry for Sony when they championed everything from exclusives to, oh, look, Sony's dominating. Oh, Microsoft, nobody needs an Xbox. Xbox has no games. Xbox is so when that was going around, there was nobody in IGN like, yo, we need a strong Xbox. Yo, we need nobody said that. Nobody said that the perils of Xbox falling out of the gaming industry, and they damn near died in 2014.
Even though, you know what, University? Even though if you think about it, a lot of innovation in the gaming space has come from behind, Xbox being behind, pushing them forward, right?
So now Sony
without them,
can do the
a
same.
lot of these innovations would not be there. But somehow nobody cares if they fall off the cliff, you know?
Exactly. Like so Xbox can fall off the cliff. That's not a monopoly. That's fine. Yeah. That's competition. Now Xbox using their resource, just like how Sony used their position in the market to say F crossplay, just like how they use their position in the market to basically take games away from Xbox and say, oh, you want Spider-Man? They took the biggest superhero IP in the world and made it exclusive by backdoor deals. They don't even own the goddamn IP.
University, the irony there is who used to make all the Spider-Man games?
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Activision.
Yep.
On the PlayStation 2, they were all back.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what, Everborn? You give us your opinion as well. You like speak on that a little bit.
Well, no, I will. I do have a lot, and I want to piggyback off of what Uni's saying. But Uni, finish your point, and I'll jump in right after.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying, like, basically, all I'm saying is, like, Microsoft isn't competing. Listen. Phil tried to tell these people 2-3 years ago, you know what they did? They got, you know, the PlayStation fanboys and the rabid fanaticals. They got on his back and said, oh, he's talking about PlayStation isn't his competition, and they're in third place. I'm like, whoa. This $2 trillion company just told you the people they're worrying about is the other $2 trillion company. They're not worrying.
Fourth place.
Yeah, right?
Fourth place.
So
Don't forget Nintendo.
I'm like, how could you be? And everybody said, oh, they're not going to get another acquisition because this is in danger of getting things. That's a lie. How can you be a monopoly and you're not even third, and you're just third place in revenue gain? With this acquisition, they'll be third place. That's nowhere near a monopoly. So basically, are you going to tell companies from now on that in order to move up, you can no longer use your money? Because that's basically what he's saying. So if y'all going to change capitalism system that's been here since goddamn slavery, then maybe we need to do it. But if not, then y'all need to be quiet, because it's one time they champion the capitalist system when Sony can be like, well, we have the most player base, so we can throw our weight around and force third-party developers to do what we want and do all of this stuff. Or, like I said, you don't want capitalism, but you can't have both. You can't be like, oh, capitalism is great when it's my console is doing the best and they're number one and they're selling, because you know how much they love sales numbers. Look at the sales. Xbox is trash. But now they're like, no, Microsoft, don't use your money. You're the richest company. Don't use it, please. So all I'm saying is, like I said, Everborn, he hit the nail in the head. And at the end of the day, we know what's going on. There's a lot of fanboys. There's some people in the media, I'm sure, are paid off by Sony or have some vested interest in Sony doing well. And nobody wants Sony to go off the market, especially Microsoft, because they prefer that be playing with Nintendo and Sony because they're the big boys at that table than bringing in Google, Amazon, and other big boys into the table. So they don't want to kill Sony, but they do want to be number one. So
they want to be respected in the market.
Yeah, let me jump in right there. That's a good point for me to jump in. So there's a few things to the sort of bias of people, but to me, right, what Sony, right, and this is why I think everybody should cheer this deal on, is when Sony had no competition, we got Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, God of War, Spider-Man 2018. That's when Xbox wasn't even competing against them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what they will do when there's actually a boot on the neck, right? Imagine when they actually have to fight for whatever position they have in the market. Because Sony is not really going to take all of this sort of laying down, so to speak. They're not just going to be like, oh, well, and maybe now this forces Sony to invest in multiplayer games and invest in some of the other things that they have just said, well, you know, my position in the market lets me get this COD marketing deal, so I don't have to worry about it, right? Now you do have to worry about it, and they can commit resources to this. So that's one part of it.
My boy J-Rock in here, man. What's up, J-Rock?
Hey, what's happening, J-Rock?
Everybody remember to share this out, man, so we can get, you know, more people.
Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this out to some more folks. Let's get more conversation in the chat. I'm sorry, Everborn, continue.
Right. Yeah, so and then the other thing is, like I said before, the only thing being threatened right now is Sony's position in the market. This is whether Sony will be second or third place behind Tencent.
Exactly.
Right? So and people don't like that idea.
They like
people
Sony earned it.
With Sony being at the top. And again, like I said, this is going to take work, right? The company will have to be turned around, and more IPs will be built around this. But all of that being said, I think that once this thing I think that Call of Duty is the least interesting part of this discussion and what they will do with that. The more interesting things is what are the projects that will be greenlit. The ones, because remember, Phil said, what's interesting about this is we've seen their roadmap, right? It is not just Call of Duty. Right, so some things that maybe they wouldn't have greenlit before, or they had in the works that they're working on. We're going to see
other things that are about to come out, new IPs or something that they have seen that excited them.
Right, and again, when the idea is to feed the service, and the most interesting thing to me is those support studios, the ones that work as support studios now. Will they get to make their own games, or will they be used as support studios for all of Xbox? Right, so who do we have that supports Raven, that supports Warzone right now?
Everyone.
And who's designing?
All of them are supporting that stuff.
Yeah. Right, but in terms of, because they move it back and forth. So what if some of those support studios, if they want to stay support studios, or maybe you grow them out, right? But what if they can now go and help with the quarterly events in Halo Infinite?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Right. What if they can help 343, manage the free to play Halo, while 343 focuses on big campaign expansions, right? So these are some of the things that can happen on top of bringing back some of that old.
Yeah, because they just got like 5,000 devs. Like that's way easier than
10,000.
Yeah,
10,000
well, 10,000 employees, right? But not all of them on devs. But what I'm trying to say is that they can use those. Think about it, how they were looking for people to help with the initiative, that they said, F it, we'll have to go in and get Crystal Dynamics in because we need more manpower. Yeah. Now they have all that manpower. So they can all they have to do is not make COD every year, make it every other year, put it day one in Game Pass, and then free up those teams to do other things.
So and furthermore on that point, what about that COD engine? Right? Who else in the Microsoft gaming framework could take advantage of that?
I definitely want to talk about that.
Right. I think it actually is built off of the id engine, right? Like the id tech.
I mean, a while ago it was. I don't know if they're still using that.
I wonder if there's any. Yeah, I don't know if there's any crossover.
You know what?
COD is going to be the new Fortnite.
Let me get Scrub Nurse's opinion on this, because when we were talking about this before, out of all of us, I think he is the most dedicated Call of Duty player among us.
Can I just add
go
one
ahead.
one
Finish
more
up,
thing
finish up.
before we go?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
With Phil Spencer's words, I think it's
We'll
very
get there.
interesting how
We'll
he's
get
framed.
there. The desire
Okay.
stuff is on the screen. We'll get there, but yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Not even
Okay.
desire. Not even desire. I'm saying the way he's framing the whole conversation. It is advantageous to the closing of this deal.
But he honestly,
says,
Everborn, I don't mean to cut you off, but
I'm not even talking about
no,
desire.
I'm not talking about
just
desire
talking
either.
About the framing.
I'm tired of folks always needing to be reminded. You saw this like a year ago. Exactly the same thing happened.
But they're just giving him the wishful
saying.
thinking. Yeah, that's not. Well,
that's
it's
not
his
even what
job.
I'm talking about. If he positions this as who we are competing against is Facebook and Google and Amazon and Apple, now he can say like Google and Apple alone control their app stores. They control gaming in that way.
I know.
Right? So if they can say that, then it no longer, you can't make that argument. See, he's just dotting the T's and crossing the I's for the regulators. Because if you're framing this not against Sony and Nintendo, you're framing it against Apple and Google.
You're framing it against the entire
Now we're
interactive
saying,
media market. The entire thing.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's mobile or nothing. Yeah.
Right. So Apple is the gatekeeper of anything that goes in the App Store. They can't even get xCloud.
That's
in
a
there
goddamn
officially.
monopoly.
They got to go through this whole thing.
That's a monopoly.
Right. So if you look at it that way, then this whole monopoly talk gets thrown out the window. So every word he's saying is carefully crafted.
I get that.
Now, whether it
I
is
actually think
genuine
that in
or
our
not,
circles, in the circles that we pay attention to, that monopoly talk is just people being in their fields and trying to find ways of discounting this whole situation.
Because
no, but there's serious people talking about that. They may be misinformed, but there's still serious
people who are talking about that.
I think it's disingenuous.
Well, and Scrubners, you're up. I'll let you speak to this, but those quote unquote serious people that are talking about it, the way that I can not discount, but the way that I can acknowledge that they're talking about this is anytime you hear $70 billion changing hands in an all cash, liquid cash transaction, yeah, serious people, their eyes perk up, right? Doesn't mean they're all lawyers, doesn't mean that they have a leg to stand on here. That is the reason why those serious people are in the room, because they were in the room when we were talking about $7.4 billion. Now we're talking 7-0. So that's why, right? That I saw Congressman Nadler talking about we want to make sure. Yes, but his interest in that is because Activision-Blizzard has been a stain in his constituency for a long time. So scrutiny will happen, but that has nothing to do with monopolistic behavior.
Yeah,
that's fine, but the perception of it could be a problem for the closing of the deal, and that is why I know that
Microsoft
he is trying to frame it in such a way.
Microsoft does not want any perception to be any kind of ridiculous. There should be no perception, even among the plebes, even among the troglodytes, that will lead to anything potentially problematic for them.
All I have to say about that is, if Microsoft buy, let's say they buy Take-Two, you know you're gonna hear the monopoly.
Of course,
going through the roof. But here's the thing. Which part of interactive media makes the most money? Oh, mobile gaming. Now, who controls mobile gaming? Just Apple, Google and Apple.
With the purchase of King, now the whole industry is like
no. Here's my point. They have to in order to get to the Candy Crush, you need Apple or Google, one of the two.
Or Google, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why Apple didn't want Game Pass on their App Store. You see what I'm saying? Because they're like, no. We make the most money from our app to offer games. We don't want to give you access to that. So what they do, they told Microsoft, yo, you're gonna have if you want it on our app store, you're gonna have to pay for each individual game, or have an app for each individual game, which is untenable, and they knew that. Yeah. So my point is, if Jason Schreier doesn't think that Apple or Google has a monopoly on interactive media for the biggest part of the pie for interactive media, how the hell can the third place console maker who just made a purchase somehow now own a monopoly? It makes no sense, and that's how the lawyers are going to frame it. The lawyers are going to frame it like, just like Sony can buy all of those distribution networks for anime and say, well, anime isn't its own subgenre, it's not recognized under the law. It's just the law recognizes media. I forgot what they call like TV media or stuff like that. The law recognizes that. It doesn't recognize anime as its own thing. Just like all interactive media, gaming.
So console gaming is not. It should not be separated from interactive media
from mobile
as a
gaming
whole.
or PC gaming or VR gaming. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
so that's a tiny piece of the pie.
So you know what, Scrubness, let's get to Scrubness because he's been patiently waiting. He like I said, we were talking in beforehand. He, among us all, I think we can agree, is the dedicated Call of Duty player. So if there's any negativity here, and I don't know if you play it on Xbox or PlayStation. Actually, for the purposes of this conversation, that doesn't really matter. In general,
I have it on both. Yeah,
there you go. In general, Call of Duty is about to change. It is about to change.
Yes.
What is your opinion on all of this?
Okay, I'm gonna step back and then I'm gonna go right in there. I'm gonna hit these points real quick. But when a lot of people sit there and go, "Why are we buying Activision with all the problems going on? Why would Microsoft want to get in bed with this this whole developer?" Well, it's just like you have a best friend in his garage, got an old beat up 57 Chevy, got rust in it, the oil pan, everything's leaking, the engine has thrown a couple of pistons. But your best friend has a bunch of money. He has a bunch of money to buy that car that doesn't run and is all beat up because he's gonna work on it. He's gonna fix it. He's gonna take all the bad parts out, replace them with new, and make that car in the image that he wants it to be. And then when he gets it how he wants it to be, he's going to roll it out the street. Everybody's going to look at that car totally different, even though technically by the outside of the frame, that is still a classic car, just like Activision has these classic games, have all this IP that's great. You just take out all the bad parts, build the car in your engine. You might say this engine has this kind of block. You want to put this kind of engine block in it, then add a supercharger or whatever you want to say. The frame is still the same car, but you make it in your own image. So that's why you buy a franchise and a developer like this, because what you can get on the back end. You don't buy for what it is now. It's for what you're going to make it further. For the base you already have and what you're going to build it on before. But as far as Microsoft obtaining Activision-Blizzard, here's the thing. If you're going to pull up and just deal with Call of Duty, if you're going to say, all right, we're only talking about Call of Duty or all these other games, why do they have this stuff? This is going to be a monopoly. I don't think Call of Duty is going to be exclusive to Microsoft, Xbox, and Game Pass. It could be. I could be totally wrong. But these are the reasons why I think this.
Define what you mean not exclusive. Because just I'll let you continue. But to frame it, we right now have Warzone everywhere. And then we also have the once a year, which might change to once every 2 years, console games and whatnot. Do you foresee a world where both stay multi-plat continued, or a world where Call of Duty Warzone stays multi-plat, whereas the other ones become exclusive? What is your choice? Continue.
Going by what Phil is saying now, and I know some of it is legally speak and some of it is tiptoeing, but if you want to still have a strong PlayStation, you want to look, if you want to get stronger when you're a little kid playing basketball, you playing hoops in the backyard by yourself is not going to make you a better player. It'll make you good, but you got to have competition. Maybe you got a cousin or a next door neighbor that always comes up. You playing against somebody else better. I'm a drummer. I've been playing for 30-something years. I can play all day by myself, but until you play in a band, you don't know how good you are, and it makes you better. Competition and playing against and with other people make you better. So by him saying how his desire is to keep it on PlayStation, how he wants PlayStation to be strong, this is the thing you got to think of with PlayStation. Just this year and last year, what are the top 2 PlayStation games?
Call of Duty and Fortnite.
Vanguard, and then Call of Duty Cold War.
Oh, yeah. True. Yeah,
two Call of Duties. Okay. 60% of Call of Duty console players are on which console? PlayStation. Yep. Okay. We were talking about engines earlier. They don't use id engine. They use IW engine, which is standing for Infinity Ward.
Yes.
So when you're talking about a Call of Duty, it's all mind share. Cause just think, all the times when Xbox had the marketing rights for Call of Duty, most of the players were on Xbox. What happened is you go put it on PlayStation, get the marketing rights, and all it does is take a couple of things for folks to get the mind share of Call of Duty, and you don't have to make it exclusive. Players go by who their favorite YouTube player is or where their friends are. Or if you lock something down, because Call of Duty is a yearly thing, they're going to go where they get the more bang for their buck. So Call of Duty has marketing rights, and they go, you get the beta first, only on PlayStation. Guess who hardcore Call of Duty players are going to go? They're going to go to PlayStation. They say, you get this only map and this only whatever going on. Guess where Call of Duty players are going to go? The ones who have the exclusive map. You pre-order Call of Duty with us, you get to play Call of Duty 7 days earlier.
So let me ask you a question then. Right? And I
get it
understand
free in
exactly
Game
you get it
Pass.
free on Game Pass. Exactly. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
So,
here that's where I'm leading to.
Here's my
Go
question
ahead.
to you when it comes to that. So if, and we don't know, right? Like we've already said, if, because they say we have our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. If that desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation ends up being, we'll keep Warzone, because Warzone's transactions are what basically fuel revenue for Sony.
Right.
Like it fuels revenue. That and shark cards on the GTA and Fortnite, you know, V-Bucks and all that fuels their revenue. So if there's a world where they say we're keeping Warzone there, we'll make Warzone big, we'll have a Warzone team, and they'll just keep feeding the beast, as it were. But these new Call of Duty console games, or the new iterations of Call of Duty that come up, those will be exclusive to the Xbox. Do you think that'll hurt the franchise?
Yes, it will definitely hurt the franchise, because this is what I'm saying. Right now, nothing is exclusive, and you got 60% playing on PlayStation. I play Call of Duty. I play it on. I play it on Xbox right now, even though you got exclusive on PlayStation, because that's where I love to play it. All you have to do to get the max share of it is make little stuff exclusive, not the whole game. Because guess what? If you want to maximize your money, put the exclusive to make them want. If you have Game Pass, you get to play
free,
Call of
basically.
Duty 7 days earlier. Yeah, but you get to play early. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying any pay thing, but you get to pay it early, or you don't have to pay that $70. But if you want to play it on your PlayStation, keep it on there, let them buy it, let them play it. You're still gonna get that money. And a lot of times, unless they change it, because of Warzone, the way Warzone is set up, it's set up on multiple games, all on the same server. So if you move it all exclusive, unless you do something with the
They're all
server,
gonna
which
move to
I
Azure.
know
Yeah, they're gonna
Microsoft is
move it all
probably
to
going to
Azure,
do.
most likely. Yeah.
Right. When they do that, you're going to pretty much knock a bunch of players out of it. I think if you want to keep PlayStation strong, but allow it to still be on there. Have Microsoft have the ways to have it exclusive, be able to play the game. You have the incentives. You're going to pull that fan base over. You're going to pull them over, but you don't want to say no more on PlayStation, because you are going to lose some of that share, and PlayStation won't be as strong. Folks will buy Xboxes just for COD, just like folks buy a console just to play Madden. Some people just buy a console just to play FIFA. All you have to do is entice them to have something to come to and Call of Duty fans will move over. There's a lot of
No,
go
I just
ahead.
want to add to your point, Scrub Nurse. And I've been talking about this offline. At first, I was like, yo, this is going to be a Bethesda situation all over again with COD. Like, Phil is just talking that way because he needs to get the deal closed. Because obviously, when you have all the media and all these people doing this, is this anti-competitive, whatever, he's not going to turn around and be like, I'm taking everything. He can't do that, right? But at the same time, if they still are trying to buy other publishers, let's say my dream comes true of Sega,
That's where I was
or
going.
University's
Exactly.
dreams come true of Take-Two, when they're trying to buy Take-Two, and people are like, oh, this is getting crazy now, all they have to look to is say, look, we bought Minecraft, we kept it multiplat. We bought Activision, we kept COD multiplat, even though we get all the benefit from it. So now don't get mad when we also buy Take-Two, because look, you don't have to worry. But then after they're done purchasing, snatchy, snatch, right?
Yeah.
Next generation, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's
so everyone, I think we never really got a chance to dive in on the too far on the antitrust stuff. I did want to just throw out one thing on that because like I've heard some people say that the reason why Phil said what he said was to like they're trying to get through the antitrust stuff. I do think there's a chance that you'll get scrutiny just because politicians want to be politicians.
And there's $70 billion at play. That perks up the ears.
And there's Republicans and Democrats. Yeah. There's Republicans and Democrats. Republicans who got to make a show to their base that they're against these tech companies because they're out to get them. That whole thing, that whole bullshit. And then there's on the Democrat side is that's what you're supposed to do is show that you're trying to
be
prevent
for the people and all of that.
Consolidation.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's all grandstanding because they make money in these companies and stocks. It's all grandstanding.
So there will be some of that, and we have seen some of that grandstanding already on Twitter. These people don't know,
and Microsoft is probably donating to a lot of these people's re-election campaigns.
Yeah. I mean,
and there's a real reason Microsoft has been able to stay out of the antitrust talk since they went through the 90s. In the 90s, they did not have lobbyists because they didn't believe in it. Right? Yeah. Now there's a whole lobbyist arm at Microsoft, and they're able to smartly deal with this because they've been prepared for it. And there wouldn't be a $3 billion breakup fee on this deal if Microsoft didn't already know
it was in the bag.
Like University, you said this. The palms is already greased. Right?
I mean, it's a dog and pony show. Like what we get is like the play. Like it's already written. Like the scripts are written. Like that's just. I mean,
we're about to
watch
another wrestling match at this point. Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, it's another story for another kind of podcast to talk about. Our systems and our economic whatever. But based on where it's at, like this. If there's no precedent to stop this, like if you try to look through like what you generally would get, what would get pushed back or where there had to be some concessions, it's generally on things that are like horizontal integration where, you're buying a competitor, because what they need to do is they look at this and say, are you eliminating competition? They're not eliminating competition. I mean, obviously they're like I said, they're slightly weakening Sony, but they're being more competitive with them. But they're not eliminating. If they were buying Sony, if they were buying Valve or Nintendo, that would be horizontal integration. But like I sent you guys a link to, like there's the analyst spoke to IGN about it, but there's really no precedent for vertical integration, which makes it weird that Jason Schreier keeps calling it horizontal. He keeps saying it over and over, like it'd be true if he says it enough times. I think anybody who really understands what this type of business is taken, any sort of it's a real stretch to try to say that a platform whose primary competitors, Microsoft's primary competitors in gaming are. It is Apple. It is going to be, Google. It is Sony. It is, I guess to a lesser extent, Nintendo. But it's not like EA, right? It's not.
No, they partner with them. Yeah.
It's not Ubisoft, right? Like in fact, those guys, they align them right underneath their own subscription. So like
these are money moves.
Yeah. So like it's all it's vertically aligned like that. So I guess I'm just throwing that out there. It is kind of
so.
That's the only thing that's really bugging me. Like I get consumers not liking this and wanting it. Some consumers wanting it, have this hope that a Hail Mary will come in. But if you are in the if you are in the games media or gaming journalist and you work for a business publication, you should know what
you should do your homework a bit,
or at least explain.
No.
Or at least explain to me how you got there, because maybe there's just some sort of like nuance that I'm missing here.
It's hot takes. It's all hot takes because folks listen to you. You've already established yourself. You put hot takes, folks. You already got a following. Folks are going to click, and you're going to answer it.
Right.
But I mean, if you look at it too, another thing that's not talked about that much, which you can bring player bases over without making
Yes,
stuff
you're
exclusive, is
absolutely right.
with the Call of Duty League. You have Microsoft name plastered over Call of Duty League for hours on end. Your favorite teams and players are using Xbox controllers or Elite controllers. Guess what? The kids and your followers, they're going to start wanting to play with their favorite teams or players are doing. And then guess what? You do something silly and you know what would actually be good because Activision doesn't have it. You put Call of Duty on Microsoft Azure servers, okay? You make the games like Kay, to your point, you like to play the story, the campaign. What if you gave the campaign 2 years to do or 3 years to do? Then you sit there, you put it on Game Pass. You're bringing folks over here to play Game Pass. Keep it on PlayStation, but then what else you do? You have Call of Duty with here, and what? You got 9, 10 studios Activision has been putting on there.
Yeah.
Leave your main studios that do it, you know, Treyarch, your Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer. But look at these other studios with this. This is with you getting Call of Duty. Look at what you can do with the other studios if you take them off of there. Toys for Bob, you can get your Spyro, your Skylanders back, your Crash Bandicoot, your Beanox, what you talked about with Spider-Man, Guitar Hero, High Moon with your, you know, your Deadpool, your Transformer games, Demonware with Tony Hawk, King's Quest, Raven, Wolfenstein, Wolverine, Marvel, Ultimate Alliance. You get all those extra studios to put more stuff for what? Game Pass. But you can still have Call of Duty done
It's
in a
amazing.
great way.
It's
Right.
amazing
And
how.
and
make
let me just add to
both
that.
ways.
Go ahead.
Just real quick. So you know, Warzone I think can be the thing that give people their yearly fix, right? Because you can have yearly event or quarterly events, however they do that. But just say, oh look, Infinity Ward, now you're gonna take over Call of Duty full time, and it's gonna come out every 3 years, the same way it does now, right? Now,
Yes.
now, on top of that, right? Because I think I said this before we went live in the green room, but since we have all these people here, I wonder if Sony even wants to keep the marketing deal for Call of
Then
Duty.
they're just making their
because
Yup, they will.
platform
they're
fatter.
right. They're gonna spend all of that money to market this thing and put it on their stage for a title that is gonna, at the end of it, say day one on Game Pass. Right? Like,
I got something for you, Airborne.
right?
We going Tesla time news on the podcast. Okay. Toyota still makes ICE vehicles, internal combustion engines. They don't want to move over to electric vehicles to 2035, almost 2040. Guess what? You got Tesla making all electric vehicles. They don't have to change up anything. Guess what? Toyota still makes commercials wanting you to buy internal combustion engine vehicles, which eventually they will lose market share on. Eventually, ICE vehicles will be phased out because there's too many states, too many countries saying they got to be gone by 2030. Why would you keep trying to push out and saying you're going to make a gas guzzling vehicle when you see where the future is? Because you're going to try to make as much money as you can right now before you know it all ends.
Indeed.
And that's PlayStation's going to keep that exclusivity because they're going to make money until they can't make money with this deal.
I agree.
Let me pause us
I'm
for
totally
a
on
moment.
the.
Just for a moment and thank all the people that are in here. There's so many people in here. I think it's like 67 people, some number like that. Thank you so much for watching.
It was 72.
It was 72 a second ago. Like so many people in the chat having a very, very like vibrant conversation. We appreciate it. Beast Mode, we see you. Victor Alistine, all these tried and true members of the community that are in here. I put Beast Mode's comment in here because I think on the screen and for my audio listeners, it says, "Don't underestimate the wild part. All this COD discussion is cute, right?" And
right.
I won't even limit it to COD to WoW. King is monstrous, but most people don't even speak to that, right?
Hey, to that point, with WoW, does that does your WoW subscription get added to Game Pass for PC?
There you go. That is a question that
Why
must be
not?
asked.
So now you're
That would
saying,
be
now
interesting.
however many millions of people they have there, they say, listen, this account is now a Game Pass account. So you
Holy
still get to
smokes.
access
Yeah.
WoW,
Imagine one
but
day
now you
all of a
can
sudden
access all
the Game Pass subscribers
Oh my God.
are the WoW subscribers in one. That would just balloon it like
How many
overnight.
subscribers is there for WoW? That would
Yes,
be
it would.
insane.
A lot.
You know,
Don't forget.
and that, you guys all bring up really, really good points. And like Scrub Nurse, like I think I've been actually on your wavelength. I've been arguing with a lot of my guys at Xbox Era. I feel like I'm in the minority here, but I do think that people think too much into the old paradigm, right? Like you take an exclusive here, you put it over here, you're gonna get your you drive your customers there, you get your sales. This is more chess, and it's not just chess. This is like these are the moves you're going to be making today are going to some of them you're going to see like exponential impacts 10 years from now. And when you're buying something that's 69 billion, it is for the 10 to 20 year vision of what gaming is. And I said in my article too, like when I put that out there, I expected them to pull everything but Warzone initially because I thought, well, from a strategic standpoint, you think about it like Bethesda, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But then I threw out a caveat that the thing that you can't really underestimate in this situation is going back to us saying that, hey, Call of Duty is a social platform. It's not the same as like just a game.
It's basically Fortnite. It's their version of Fortnite, a platform for other things. Yes.
And because it is a social platform, number one, you want to protect the value of that IP because it's not just going to pay off for this console generation, which again, this is not just about Xbox or PlayStation. It's about a whole paradigm. And who knows, maybe Apple and Sony are together at some point down those roads. So this is about keeping Call of Duty not just keeping its value, but increasing its value over the course of this generation. So, and to Scrub Nurse's point, this is something I was trying to say before too to others is if Microsoft left Call of Duty on the PlayStation platform, which I would be happy with, by the way. Like I don't care about list wars.
It doesn't really bother anybody. Really,
it doesn't do anything for me.
It's all about pride at this point.
If you leave it there, it is like as Sony's in a weird spot because it's like you're leaving a Trojan horse there. You improve the crossplay, the streamlining of the friends across platform,
the servers.
Like they're going to be telling their friends, hey, I'm playing it over here on the subscription. I didn't pay anything extra for the campaign or the maps or, it's all rolled into this thing. I got these freebies from my Game Pass Ultimate. You can just go to your PC and just download this, try it out for $1 and use your DualSense controller. Like that is like the ultimate Trojan horse because it is a social platform. I would argue that there's a lot of, unlike the Bethesda thing, whereas, if you leave these big single player games there, you'll get the revenue, but you're not really going to have like the best way for them to pull people into Game Pass
is to convince the continuously playing players,
pull them off the platform,
the recurring money.
Yeah, you want to pull those guys. You want to make them come over to Xbox right away, and you're not really worried about the revenue there. But I think in this case here, it's not about the revenue, but the strategy is a lot more complicated. And I think you can leave that social platform existing there. You're still going to have plenty of exclusives anyways. Between you mentioned WoW, there's rumors of a WoW for console.
They added the APIs for the Xbox controller, and before then it was being hacked in, and now it's officially supported. So that sparked some conversation about it potentially coming to console.
So there's a lot of reasons. So there would be a lot of advantages for just leaving Call of Duty on PlayStation, which would be a win-win for the gamers, and also, like I said, for Microsoft. Really, they might just see this as a way to make sure that Call of Duty doesn't lose any value. And
the money men won't complain because all of a sudden you took it off of you bought Activision-Blizzard, and then took it off of the
Right.
place
All the
where it
brand
makes the most
standards.
money, Money Man would complain. Not everybody is a gamer who's
Yeah.
interested in all of this. They that's why you saw the market respond a little bit negatively to Microsoft announcing this, because the idea was, why are you buying a dud, right? But you'll start seeing that they'll turn that perception around.
It'll start growing.
So is Xbox, you still around? Do you have any takes you wanna say before we move on to another aspect of this? I don't know if I haven't heard him speak in a little bit. You there, Xbox? He might not be. Everborn, you had something you wanted to say.
Y'all can't hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you now.
What the,
Now we can
all
hear
this
you.
time
We
y'all
can
couldn't
hear
hear me?
No, we couldn't hear you.
We didn't hear anything you were
Couldn't hear
saying.
anything you were saying.
I
No,
was wondering.
no.
I'm like, oh, he's just gonna talk over me. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
that's
no,
fine.
my bad, bro.
I was
We could
no,
not hear you. We
not
hear you now.
Like the last 20 minutes. I was like, damn.
We hear you now. Forgive us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey,
It's not
before
your
you
Sorry
go,
about
I was
that.
just checking this stat here.
Sorry about that.
Call of Duty in the beginning of last year had over 111 million monthly active users across Warzone and the
Minecraft.
whatever
That's
Call
Minecraft
of Duty
numbers.
game was out
Yeah,
at that
no
time.
doubt.
Those are Minecraft numbers. Like I
Yes.
told you,
Go
that's
ahead,
what
Uni.
they want. They want 3 pillars. Let me tell you how this happened. I told Everborn this months ago. Remember when I was in the pony spaces, the pony barns? They told
We
me
don't use those
that I
words
was-
around here, sir.
Okay, my fault. I was in the fanatical barn, right?
I'm just being
And what
ridiculous.
happened?
Go ahead.
What happened is they come in. They told me I was stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. Da 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 da. Da. I'm like, bruh. They would say, oh, y'all acquisition begging. Who's acquisition begging now? Who's praying that Sony goes out and buys Square Enix or Sony? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the crazy part is, like I keep telling them, right, that Microsoft is doing the Disney route. That's the fact. If Disney did
Yes.
not get any antitrust, Disney had a way bigger
Yeah.
stake.
They were number one
in-
when they bought
Hold
Fox.
on.
You're
Here's what I'm
absolutely
saying.
right.
Disney had a way bigger stake in the movie business than Microsoft has in the video game business. That's a fact. And they went out and spent 70 Bs. This is a $300 billion company that sent 70 Bs. That's almost 1/3 of their worth to get 20th Century Fox. Then they went and got Star Wars. Then they went and got Marvel. So think about that for a second. They got Hulu. They got ESPN. They got National Geographic. And they put all of that
ABC.
together and put it into Disney Plus, and they had 100 million subscribers in 18 months.
In a
So,
year.
yeah, so at the end of the
University,
day, that's
I'm
what
not
Microsoft
cutting you
wants.
off, University. Just real quick, there's been conversation in the chat about how many actually monthly users that Warcraft has. So I have found a stats page that shows you active monthly
Holy
users,
shit.
and they have not gone down a single bit. Yes, they had a spike a little bit, but their numbers, as you can see, even to
That's
date, is
5
very strong.
million people, bro.
Please
Holy
continue,
shit.
University.
Look how many subscribers they have, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
So imagine
so-
converting these guys all of a
To
sudden
Game Pass.
overnight to Game Pass users. Right? These are the
They go 5
subscribers
million.
right here.
Or King.
These are the subscribers, and these are the active monthly
King.
players right here.
Hey, maybe that's the 30 million Strauss was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, but remember, Strauss said we. I keep telling y'all, in that conversation, he said we. And what I want y'all to
True.
understand is this. Disney, if you look at what Disney did, Disney went and got 3 big pillars. Marvel, Star Wars, and 21st Century Fox, right? The 21st Century Fox was the big purchase in the room. Microsoft wants to do the same thing. They want to get, okay, the big boy was Activision. Then they had their Bethesda. Who's going to be their Star Wars? Who do you think that is? The last piece of the puzzle that they're missing is Take-Two, because one, Take-Two comes with prestige titles like Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is basically another COD where it's just a
Everyone, let me cut you off before you talk about Sony, Sega. Shut your mouth, sir. Shut your mouth.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead. Continue,
I
Uni.
didn't say anything.
Continue,
I wasn't
Uni.
going to say anything
trying.
about
He's trying.
Sega. I was going to say the difference between...
I would be happy with
the
either.
difference between GTA and COD is that COD is able to produce things every
Yeah, and
year.
GTA is like once in a
GTA is
lifetime.
once every 2 generations.
Well, no,
Yes,
that's
that's
fine, but we're
But go ahead.
talking
But
about
they
we're
bomb
talking about
every
GTA
other
Online.
year.
We're talking about
Multiple
GTA Online,
copies.
okay? We're not talking about GTA 6.
When's GTA 6 coming out versus when 5
But
drops?
here's the problem. If GTA 6 comes out and it's an Xbox or Game Pass exclusive, the subscribers are going to go from 30 million to 50 million, like overnight. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is Microsoft knows what's going on, and like I said, they have an army of lawyers. They probably have more lawyers working for Microsoft than Sony has employees. And I'm telling y'all, Microsoft has already did this whole thing out, and they said, hey, they cannot stop us from getting these publishers because one, I can name other big publishers just off the bat. Like you can go to EA, there's still EA, there's Konami, there's Capcom. There's Sega.
Say it.
Here we go.
Thank you, sir.
Sony. Sony
Damn.
is a producer. There's Tencent. There's Embracer Group. There's the other ones that they buy. Oh, I forgot they were just buying a lot of stuff. There's Koch Media. There's oh my God, the ones that
a lot of them.
The ones that did
what you're
Plague
describing
Tale.
right there, that's what breaks the whole narrative about monopolistic tendencies.
Yeah,
you know how many studios
right.
Embracer Group has bought? Like, get out of here.
31 last year. 31 last year, I think,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken. And nobody said monopoly.
They're almost up to 200, huh?
So what all this is fair for Sony because, like I said, like what you said, they're comfortable with Sony being in the lead.
No.
They feel like when Sony is in the lead in gaming, all is right in the world. But Microsoft, no.
Hey,
they shouldn't try to move out of third place. They should be happy where they are because they have other.
You know what's another thing?
Nobody's talking.
What's another thing?
Yeah, nobody's talking about MLG either.
Mm-hmm.
When you get
Activision.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know Sony got Evo, but I think MLG it's probably bigger than Evo, right?
Like
Evo was big when stuff was still on VCRs and watching stuff on DVDs, and folks was playing Street Fighter tournaments.
So Microsoft wants IP more than anything else. That's what they want. They want IPs now.
One thing real quick. You know how they said that the purchase of Bethesda basically pushed Google out of the market? They were like, oh, this is the kind of money you have to spend. Jez Corden made a great point yesterday on Xbox 2 when he said this is also served to signal the rest of the big tech companies, if you want to play in this game,
money you need.
This is the kind of money you have to spend.
Or else don't even play
and
here.
Is Amazon ready to spend $70 billion? Does Apple want to spend $70 billion just to play in this space? And it could serve to push those to scare other big players like Facebook and things out of even trying. Because they're saying, damn, I got to spend that kind of money. And I don't even have the core competencies in this field that Microsoft has, right? Like, I'm sorry, Google, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, they've not been in their tech companies, but they haven't been in the gaming business for 20 years.
True.
Right? So it's not the same as just saying I have the money, so I'm going to bully my way into the market. That being said, does this spur on more consolidation from other people? Because when Microsoft does this, if you looked at all the other remaining publishers, the big ones anyway, their stock, their market cap shot up. Because now investors are expecting other people to come in and try to scoop them up before Microsoft grabs them. So who do we see other people coming in and scooping up the Capcoms and Square Enixes and whatnot? Or do we see things like mergers, right? Does EA merge with Take-Two? Just so that they can not get gobbled up.
Yeah.
I think Capcom could merge with. I can see a merger with Capcom merging with Square Enix or some shit like that. Like I can see that. Like,
but that still wouldn't be big enough. They still wouldn't be big enough to fend off the big money players, even if they Voltroned up.
Well, like I said, here's the crazy part. I think Microsoft, by doing this Activision deal, they scared away the big people. Because, for example, if you come in as a big like Amazon,
real
exactly. If you come in with
competition.
Amazon and you say, I'm gonna buy Capcom, how does that really help you? Because nobody's gonna go to Luna to play Resident Evil. Nobody's gonna buy like, oh damn, I need to get me a Amazon Luna because they got Street Fighter. Like they might be a tiny, but it's a niche thing. But with something like Call of Duty, something like Grand Theft Auto, something like that, like a Minecraft, like something on those levels, is what you would need to bully your way into the market. And Microsoft just took that whole thing off the board. They took that off the board and said, "Yo."
So before we move on to other aspects of this conversation,
last night.
1 second, Everborn. Before we move the conversation to other aspects, let's just for a moment stop and ponder
Yes, please.
all the things, all the publishers they could have bought with their $70 billion. Look at how much Sega costs. This is the market cap. So for those
How many
for
Segas
those
they
for
could have
those
bought?
who are doing
They could have bought Sega for
for,
$5
yeah,
billion.
for those who are
easy.
doing thought
Right?
experiments
Pocket
here,
change.
for those who want to do a thought experiment, if you see 3.6 billion, make it 5, just to be nice and round.
Probably got to add about
but
50.
people-
Probably got to add about 50%.
No,
to each
people
of
were
those,
telling me that
or
Take
maybe
Two.
double.
People were telling me
from-
that there's no way in hell they could buy Take Two. Take Two
Yeah.
makes too much
Take
money.
Two
Look
is
at Take Two,
18.
that little
So
$18
imagine they
billion
buy it for
Aw.
25, if not 30.
Yeah, that's so cute.
But still,
18 billion. Microsoft
Look-
couldn't afford that, huh?
Capcom's only 5. That's
look-
crazy.
look at-
Yeah.
Like, because I was hearing Square. I was hearing Square would probably go for 15 or
No,
something.
no
like that. So,
goddamn
yeah,
way.
the market
That's like
caps
that's
are.
Square
an
goes for
11
max
billion.
10.
That's an 11
Max
billion
10.
deal right there. 11 bill.
Look at Embracer Group with all the studios they have. Now, if Microsoft bought
Oh,
Embracer
God.
Embracer
No,
Oh,
Group,
that would be a
God.
monopoly.
Then it would be
Let me tell you why.
different.
Let me tell
Then
you
it
why.
would be
Because
different.
Take Two would cost about
No,
40
but
billion.
here's what I tell you why. Because if you buy Embracer Group,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to sell to the regulators that you just picked up 40 something studios in one purchase. Like if they feeling a type of way about 11 studios
Right.
or 12 studios, what about if you pick
of
up
course,
a thing with 40,
that's
then
why
they
they
gonna
would
be
never
like,
do this. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, like-
but it's just the
like-
idea, just the thought experiment of you spent $70 billion, right? This is all just obviously we're playing with checkers right now. Clearly, there's far more to it than that. But the amount of money they
Yeah.
spent could have paid for all of these.
Exactly.
Just think about that for a moment.
But that's how you know how important Activision was to them. Because
Exactly.
what they realized
Exactly.
is they
Yes.
listen. They want to force
Mhm.
Sony. Listen, this is business, right? You said it yourself. Phil Spencer isn't the nice guy. Microsoft isn't the nice guy. They want to put Sony right in their place because for the last 7 years, Sony went for the juggler. This is how you share games on PlayStation. Listen, Microsoft doesn't forget. They still won't even give any review copies to Angry Joe because of what Angry Joe did on them for the Xbox One era. And that's like 8 years ago. And they're like, nope, we don't want nothing to do with you because you told the truth on us. You see? So if you think they forgot the shit that Sony pulled in this last generation trying to basically kill Xbox off, like watch that documentary. They were trying to kill Xbox.
Yeah.
They went for the juggler. It
Oh, yeah,
wasn't
of course.
just enough that they got the best.
Oh, yeah.
They had the best. They had a PS4 that was $400 cheaper. It wasn't better. It wasn't just enough that they had the more powerful console. They had to go to the juggler. They tried to get rid of them at every corner, and it almost worked. It almost worked. So now
So,
Microsoft's like, dude, we
real
don't
quick-
have any sympathy for you.
I don't even,
So real quick, the
I don't
chat
even
has been
think
the
Microsoft's
chat has been
that-
having a vigorous
yeah.
conversation about monthly active users on WoW, and I've been called to task. Shout out to Slow Mo Backslap, saying insisting that they have lost nearly half of their monthly users, and here are some of that. So yes,
Well,
that
if that's
conversation.
half-
But that was all of Blizzard. Was that actually
It's
WoW
mainly
that
WoW.
lost
It's
that?
mainly WoW because WoW is the tip of the spear at Blizzard, as you can
Well,
see.
they're gonna come
Pretty
back
much
once it's on
Blizzard.
But
Game
that
Pass.
says 46 to 26.
But that's still a lot.
So
That is a lot.
It just shows all the opportunity. There's a lot. I mean, Call of Duty Vanguard is down 33% from last year in sales. So across the
And it's still number
OBM.
one with
I
PlayStation,
know, I wanna
even
ask
with
you a
it
question,
drop it
OBM.
down.
Even if
Yeah.
I keep telling people this. If they put COD or World of Warcraft on Game Pass, do you think the numbers are gonna go down or up because you lower the cost of entry?
Oh, I mean, yeah,
gonna go
they go
up.
up.
Yeah, exactly. So if
for
COD,
sure.
I
if
think-
COD
I
has
think-
25 million players every year now, if you tell them, yo, you don't have to worry
yeah.
about the $60-$70 every year.
Every month,
Just come
that's
to
right.
Game
It
Pass
would-
and
it
you
would
get everything
increase.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would increase. Like,
But
listen,
well,
they're gonna go
here-
from 25
here's the
million
thing.
players
I
to like
think-
40.
I think the best opportunity or a great opportunity, aside from needing to sort of restaff up and hopefully change morale and attract talent back to Blizzard, because maybe they can rehire some of the old people. But I think one, if they can find, I think it's advantageous to them to say, if you're still playing WoW, now you have Game Pass. But I think a large opportunity vector is if they can find a way to port WoW to
Oh,
console.
that's definitely in the plan.
Because-
I'm almost sure
because
of that.
that you'd add several million people that maybe will never play on PC that will go and check that out and maybe get hooked in there. And that could be a huge
very interesting point from Pixelbit G in the
them.
chat. Microsoft just took control of the Korean esports scene with this purchase because StarCraft is still king in the Korean market.
And don't forget how the opportunity for Korea when it comes to xCloud either. That is one of those markets that actually, from what I heard, like when it came to them and the xCloud beta, they had really good engagement over there. Their internet infrastructure is a lot better than it is here when it comes to those.
Yeah,
like,
Microsoft worked with their ISPs to make it really good because they're far, far beyond us when it comes to that stuff. So yeah,
they are.
Well,
so there's going to be a massive xCloud opportunity with Game Pass.
Right. Speaking of xCloud though, and opportunity vectors, what about getting WoW into xCloud?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
first step of that puzzle would be getting WoW in console land, because remember, xCloud is basically consoles in the cloud.
Controllers.
So you
yeah.
get
I
it. You have
understand, but I'm just saying,
get the control scheme for WoW working righteous on controller first. Then that conversation is very valid. You know.
Right. Yeah. But that potential is endless, because if you WoW is the kind of game that I think mobile people would eat up. And if you think Genshin Impact or Genshin Impact is making money now, imagine WoW coming to mobile.
It's not just WoW,
I think
it got Hearthstone. Like that's
Hearthstone prints money.
Exactly.
Hearthstone is huge.
What they're gonna do is, first it's gonna come to Game Pass PC. They're just like how they did with Age of Empire, right? Like they're gonna, because they have to get time to adapt it to the console. But it's gonna come in time, like a year or so later or whatever, but it's going to be available on Game Pass PC and cloud automatically. And people, like I said, they're going to eat this shit up with Hearthstone and all these other games, because these are games that you normally wouldn't even, I never even tried it. But if it's on Game Pass, I'm going to be like, why not? And then you might get hooked. Like, don't try Civilization 6, people. Don't try it. It's trash. I keep telling people.
In the money talk, just a quick tidbit to put in there. This is the whole, like, trying to get people's mind right on, just instead of just the COD conversation, let's broaden it out a little bit. Last month, through just the Apple App Store, okay, King made $633,000 a day, earning upwards of $230 million annually for Candy Crush.
Yes.
Okay? And that's just Candy Crush. And there's like 15 variations of Candy Crush that King makes. Shout out to my boy, Marshano Loon, who was the executive producer of Candy Crush.
Please subscribe to the channel.
Oh yes, thank you.
If y'all in here, subscribe to the channel.
Put the link back in the chat.
Put the link in the chat to subscribe to the channel. Also, I'm giving a giveaway for Xbox Series X. Go ahead and check it out on my Twitter account. Xbox.
We will make sure we put all of the links to all of the fine guests in the show notes. You will see them there. If you happen to watch this after the fact, make sure you click into those show notes and you go read OBM's great article on Xbox Era. I will make sure I put Xbox University's chat, his YouTube, his Twitter link in there, so you can follow him. Make sure you follow him, so when those amazing spaces go live, you'll be notified, because man, you want to be in those conversations, that's for sure. As well as Scrub Nurse, of course.
It's Jez Corden, right? Xbox Era isn't Jez Corden, right?
No.
He's Windows.
Because he blocked me last time, and I got some words for you, so you're lucky. But go ahead.
No. Jez Corden is the homie.
Okay, that's your homie?
But listen,
if he's ever born homie, I'll let it fly.
Jez is a good guy.
Jez Corden is the guy. No, but real quick, on this money talk, and something that you picked up on, Kay Asante, you shared a chart about this that was super interesting to me, and I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this, because like I said, COD is probably the least interesting part of all this. The whole not restructuring of Microsoft, because I'll say this, Microsoft has now, Phil Spencer has convinced Satya has convinced the board to bet the company on gaming. Yes. Gaming is a major pillar. It is not a side project. Microsoft Gaming is a major pillar of the company. Now, if you look revenue-wise, you shared that chart the other day, Kay Asante, that showed that right now, Microsoft, number one revenue generator right now is Azure and cloud. Like, so the server cloud business, right? 31%. Right following that is Office at 23%. Right? That's the second biggest moneymaker for them. Following behind that is Windows, 13.8%.
Look how the mighty have fallen. On Windows, Windows? Oh boy.
Gaming on Windows, Windows that everybody uses, 9.1% versus 13.8% is gaming at Microsoft. And that is before this acquisition, right? With this acquisition, gaming would be above Windows for Microsoft, right? It is going to be become a key pillar. So when you think about Office 365, right? They view Game Pass and the revenue that can be generated in gaming from all the other avenues, like the gaming league, like licensing, like direct sales in Steam and all that stuff. But Game Pass could be something that rivals Office 365. 100 million subscribers, 200 million subscribers. That's the kind of thing they're talking about. And when you think about it in that context, $70 billion is a drop in the bucket.
Yep, 100%.
Right.
Well, and to support you a little bit, Everborn, on that, because I've been kind of warning, not warning, but giving people a heads up that are in our communities, hey, now's the whole narrative about Microsoft spent all that money on Bethesda and they could just drop it like anything, like a Zune or something like that. They got out of Mixer.
Sir. I love my Zune HD.
or Mixer, I love the Mixer comparison. Yeah. It's like Mixer was like
rest in peace, Mixer.
But so I talked to somebody from Microsoft and they said basically their business, they organize it around what they call it CSAs, customer solution areas or whatever. They currently had, this was last year, and they said they had 10 CSAs. Gaming was one of those 10 CSAs, and it was number 5 or 6 at that time. So when you think about a $2 trillion company, one of the biggest in the whole world, where gaming is the 5th out of 10 different segments, it's up there in the top 5. You knew that this whole idea of them, this is dabbling in it, or they might get out of it. It was just kind of silly to begin with. That's why I didn't expect Activision, but I expected something huge still to come, because they're right now, the way that they're investing in it, the way they're building up their Azure and everything else, it's for they're thinking 10, 20 years out from now. When they say we want to be the Netflix, when Satya Nadella uses that, I don't know if people know this, but Satya Nadella used to be mentored by Reed Hastings, who's one of the co-founders of Netflix. And he was sat in those meetings for a year. This is back before he got elevated at Microsoft. And so when he says this, and he's comparing himself to Netflix, which has 200 million subscribers right now, up there. That's what they're thinking of. They're not thinking of, we're going to get, when people keep going to this, Xbox versus PlayStation, it's okay, what's your max opportunity there? Maybe you'll convert 20 million people. Maybe if you do a really, really good job. They're thinking hundreds of recurring revenue, regardless of what platform they're on. That's kind of what their vision is. So I just to kind of put that in perspective to what you were saying. Everybody.
Yeah, and let me add on to your point, OBM. They are this is where I know in a vacuum, yes, they're competing with Sony, and yes, it burned when Sony did this is how you trade your games, but they're looking way past what Sony's doing. Sony is in the rear view for what they're trying to do, and Phil Spencer sort of talked about this when he
stop it.
Right. Well, we'll come to that. We'll come to metaverse.
I know what they're trying to say, but they're doing a terrible job of advertising it.
Yes,
they make it look like
no.
To me, the PlayStation Home looked 15 years ago looked better than the metaverse that Facebook showed. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Metaverse is just
just real quick though. I don't want to get sidetracked. Real quick. So what Phil Spencer talked about was the opportunity vector that Google has with having 2 billion Android devices out there, and people's main window into applications and gaming there, or just having that audience, is the Google Play Store, and Apple's 1.4 or whatever billion and Apple devices in there, that's their addressable market, and they have a lock on that. And what Phil is saying is, if there are 3 billion gamers out there, this is a way to give with Microsoft leading the charge. This is a way for them to give not only themselves but also Sony and Nintendo and Valve access to those kind of numbers, the kind of numbers that Apple and Facebook and Google just have, right? So if now we're not talking to the same 250, 300 million people that we've been talking to for the last 30 years, what if we can talk to 3 billion people, and that's our addressable market?
Yeah.
So right now, you have 100 million people on PlayStation, and they can hope to get 10 or 20% in the best case to buy their biggest game, because their addressable market is 100 to 100 and something million. But what if that addressable market is 1 billion people, and then you get 10% of the people of 1 billion,
what Everborn
right?
is saying,
buying that game.
In the most highbrow of terms, they took their big fish, small pond and threw it into the ocean. That's literally what they're doing.
I do want to push back on one thing, though,
Yes.
Everborn. You said it was a drop in the bucket. I'd say it's still a tall glass of water. Like
it
that.
Is, yes.
Activision is biggest thing. The next biggest thing Microsoft bought was LinkedIn, and that was 45 billion. So this is like by far.
27, yeah.
Was it? Okay.
It was,
so
it was in the 20s.
It's not even close. Yeah. So
it's 2.5 LinkedIns.
Yeah.
And speaking of LinkedIn,
when they say they're all in, this is
speaking
like
of LinkedIn. Look at how much LinkedIn is valued within the company. 6% behind gaming.
Yeah.
So that's what that should tell you something that they're
here
here to play
at
this point.
Slow-mo says if Activision was a drop in the bucket, then Sega is water vapor, which is exactly why you should pick up Sega. But to that point, right? What I want to ask everybody on the panel, it really seems like Microsoft and the way they view gaming and what their acquisitions have been, and I know a lot of that is based on opportunity and who wants to sell, right? Because you need that PR thing. You can't do hostile takeovers, yes.
Right.
But it really seems like their identity now is like they are the shooter box, they are the RPG box, they're the strategy box, right? Like that's their identity, which is Western style games. Is there any avenue or opportunity, or do they even care for the Eastern market at this point?
They care. No, they care about it. I mean,
they care.
You've heard Phil talk. Like when Phil talks, I don't think he just throws things out like anymore. Yeah, these days, I do think they care. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
Audio,
hold on a minute.
audio.
There's a sound issue. We got a sound issue. They saying they can't hear us in the chat.
Who can't you hear? Can you hear us?
You turn. I see two things turned down. Oh, that's desktop audio.
No. We're good.
No, that chat is saying they can't hear any of us.
All right, so we're on a minute of silence. Did we lose the sound? We can't hear you.
All right,
okay.
Can anybody hear me?
Please confirm if you can hear us, because nothing has changed.
We can hear each other. Can the chat hear us?
Can y'all hear us? Please confirm. Is it on mute? No audio.
It's on a delay.
You messed something up, K-Sante.
I did not mess anything up. I didn't touch it. Yeah, we're trying. Oh, hold on. We can hear you too.
Hey.
Oh, so they can hear both of us.
Yeah, I'm listening to it on my phone. It's on.
Can hear us?
It's on.
Okay.
They said they can't hear Uni.
Okay. Yeah. Let me. When he comes back in, I'll make sure his audio.
Hey, K-Sante did this. I just want to say, if we're doling out blame,
so they can hear me.
So I will mute
Everborn.
I'm muting Everborn. I just muted Everborn so nobody can hear him, and now you can.
Yeah.
Stop the bullshit.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop it. But we'll get Uni back in here. If y'all still can't hear us, please let us know. And this is a very interesting place. We can switch off the conversation a bit. We've been having a lot of conversation on the finances, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of conversation on the negativity, which needs to be dispelled, right? But I can still hear you, sir. Speak again.
Yeah, we can all hear you. It's the chat. You got to ask the chat. Can you guys hear Uni right now? Just say yeah. Type Uni in the chat if you
can hear him. Please let us know. Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay. I can hear you.
Yeah. All right. So I want to switch up the conversation a bit, because as we've been talking about, it's all about the COD, and it's all about this, and some of the pieces that have been forgotten. Let's switch up to on a lighter note, because I want to keep this around 3 hours. We're heading towards 2:30 right now. So they can hear you, bro. They still can't hear you? No Uni. Oh wow, what's going on? This is terrible. What's going on here? Let me make sure.
They trying to silence you, man. Maybe it's Twitter. They came in and hijacked the street.
We'll keep working on it. I will work on this to
down.
make sure that Uni is heard, because you should definitely be able to hear you. But what I want to do, and chat, please be a part of this conversation as well.
Slow mo.
Yeah, we can hear you, Casey. Yeah. Okay. It's his computer. Shut up, man. He's terrible. I'm being absolutely terrible right now. I want y'all to give me some of what you think is the great potential of a new IP coming to this service because of this acquisition. And I know Call of Duty's low-hanging fruit. I consider those the radio hits. Let's not go there. We've already spent a lot of virtual ink has been spilt on that stuff, right? But there's a lot of others that folks have not necessarily been paying attention to because of all the Call of Duty-ness of it all. So I want y'all in the chat to also participate. Throw some out here. There are a lot of games that have potential to really shine on with this acquisition. So I will put this here, and this is not all of them, but I'll put it back just to give you guys kind of a bit of a reference point. And I will tell you one thing for myself before we continue. Gun, you see it right in the middle right there. I'll actually do just two. Gun and true crime. Okay. Oh no, don't worry, Uni. We'll get you in. I promise you. I'm gonna fix your audio situation. Gun.
All right, I'll tell you
Gun
right now.
Because let me fix. Hold on. Gun because they need a what do you call it? The GTA, the makers of GTA. Give me the names here. Rockstar. They make Red Dead Redemption. Gun has the potential to become a real Red Dead Redemption competitor. If anybody who's played that before, you know what I'm talking about. And True Crime, because that game was the only game that came out of its time that was not a GTA clone, but actually said something of its own, something different for itself. So there's a lot of potential there. Everborn, you were speaking. Go ahead. Okay. And I will work on getting you back in.
As we all know, I say bring back Pitfall, give it to Crystal Dynamics, and have them give it the Tomb Raider treatment, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition treatment. And if you want to keep it within Activision, what's the reason to do that? Because I think this deal's more complex, and Activision will be picking up potentially some of Microsoft's and Bethesda's IPs, and vice versa, right? There's cross pollination there. So I say you take when what do you call it is done with Perfect Dark, when the initiative is done with Perfect Dark and teaming up with Crystal Dynamics, put them on Pitfall, bring it back, give it the quadruple A treatment. Then I say you bring back Tenchu.
You can't do that. They don't own the fresh IP. They only own the legacy. So you can.
It's on your list.
Yeah, no.
It's on
it is on
list,
the list.
And now you
but
tell me I can't have it.
Hold on. You have to understand the logistics of it. They own the legacy IP. They don't own new versions in that.
Then it shouldn't be on this list. You asked me what they're gonna bring back from the list.
They can make a remake of Tenchu 1 or Tenchu 2. They can do that, but they cannot make a new brand new game.
We good. Hold on a minute. Prototype.
There you go.
Bring back Prototype, and that's again. We need COD. Shout out to COG, not COD. COG. Just one. Hashtag just one. Bring back Prototype.
Okay. And by the way, chat.
Yeah.
Uni has been speaking. Please keep letting me know if you can hear him or not, because all the mic levels are tight. He should be more than heard. Stop it.
That's what I said. They very easily could have spent $5 billion on Sega and the rest of that $70 billion on fixing Skype. But no,
to that point,
deal with Activision.
To that point though, you know that Skype is the back end for Xbox Live, and actually Battle.net is a completely different system that's far more approachable, far more stable. So maybe this is their way of getting sunsetting Skype and then putting Battle.net in there.
Yeah. I say integrate Teams into Xbox and everything else. That's what I'm Teams.
That is unfortunate.
I said it.
No Uni.
No Uni.
Teams is greater than Discord.
What happened to Uni? What's going on? This is just so and all the mic levels are up 100%. Like it's in there. All the guests are and you guys can also the folks on my guest list. Y'all can see my screen. Output, it's there. Mic levels are high. Don't know what the problem is.
Interesting. But we can hear you
clearly. And he's guest 2, and his mic is blaring right there. It's all right there. So I apologize, Uni. I don't know what's going on. Something shady's happening. They're trying to keep you quiet. What's going on? But all right, we'll continue the conversation while we're working on Uni's problem in the back end here. How about you there, OBM? What do you think they should bring back? Obviously, you got your Spyro.
And be careful before you answer this. It might be something on the list that they can't.
No, I've already done all this.
Yes, man.
If anybody's been seeing my Twitter, I've been these ideas keep popping in my head.
Hopefully we'll get them in there. Like, if you can hear Uni, please let us know. If you still can't hear Uni, let us know. The mics are tweaking when he speaks, so please let us know. The levels, I should say.
Hey, can you no, but you can hear him because Slow-Mo saying we can only hear what Kay can hear. But can you No, we should be good.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think we.
Unfortunately, still not.
I don't know what's going on.
Still not. I don't know what's going on. Forgive me, man. Forgive me. Check your OBS settings. Stop it, Beast Mode. We here. We do it. We hear you on the chat. Yeah, but his guest is live, but for some reason he is not coming through, and nothing has been changed since we started this conversation. It's all here. It's active and you can see everyone in it. Yeah. Everyone's here. Everyone's in it. All of it is output. It's good. It should be good. I'm not sure why it's all of a sudden stopping specifically Uni. Right? Everybody else can be heard. Can you hear Scrubner? Say something, would you? Oh yeah, you're muted, Scrubners, but that's you're muted on your side. There you
something.
go. Yeah, see,
something.
Yours is up. Yeah,
all right.
100%. Yeah. So
All right.
I don't know what's going on. I apologize, Uni. I don't know what else I can pull because all of the levers are good for you, man.
This is a setup, man. Uni, they're trying to silence
I don't know
you.
the Skype OBS thing. Yeah,
Trying to
it's
shut 'em down.
always- It's finicky.
I apologize, man. I apologize. I hope we can get this sorted. And worst case scenario, we'll have you back again.
Yeah, watch the episode end and Kay Asante turn around and look at the camera like Michael Jackson in Thriller with the werewolf eyes. This is a setup.
So keep speaking.
No, it's not your
keep
audio.
speaking because I want to hear. I want. He should keep speaking. Well, hold on.
It's a setting on this side.
Everborn. Keep speaking because I want to hear. I want to see your mic levels go up and down inside OBS. Go ahead.
He's guest 2. I don't see any movement on guest 2.
It's not tweaking. It's not tweaking. All right. So we'll get this sorted. We'll get this sorted, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. Here you go. See, you keep slandering Skype, and then Skype decided to slander you. You see what happened?
And then they're shutting you down.
That's a bad look, man. You slandering Skype. Don't do that. Now they're looking at you funny.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we'll sort this out. We will definitely sort this out because look, here is his 3 active live.
Yeah, I think he might. He got to be muted
somewhere.
somehow.
It's muted because it's here. Chat 3. It's active. It's live. Yeah.
Yeah,
but for some reason Skype is not.
Just they can't hear you. It's not.
Right, well,
they should hear him now because I see audio coming through on guest number 2.
Well, I switch
Keep
it to
talking,
guest 3. I switch it to guest 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
So I made Scrub Nurse 1, I made OBM 2, and I made University 3. That's what I did. So 3 is the one.
All right, let's go.
It should be. So you know what? I apologize. We will sort out this madness. Forgive us. We will definitely sort out this madness, and we will have University come back and continue to speak more. And I'll make sure that we resolve these issues for the next time he comes in. But unfortunately, we're not able to resolve it live on screen because I'd have to do some stuff. So we will say goodbye to University. But before we do, you can find him on Twitter. You will find once again, Everborn Saga will put his Twitter handle in the chat right now. We ask that you subscribe to the man's YouTube Twitter and follow him because he does a lot of really interesting spaces, and you want to be a part of that. You want to be a part of the conversation. Everborn put it in the chat right now. We appreciate you for coming up. Xbox. Next time, I promise you, we'll sort this out. Maybe we'll cut Skype. We don't know what we're doing. We gotta do something else because this is ridiculous. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming, and we'll definitely chat with you again soon. So yes, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the man on YouTube, on Twitter, and make sure you follow him so that next time he has a great spaces, you'll be a part of that as well. And we'll have him on as soon as we possibly can. All right. And besides, the show, I think we have about 30 more minutes in us, and then we'll get out of here ourselves anyway. So let's continue the conversation. And I wanted to ask y'all what you guys thought about this list and what you guys think about what they should do first. 2023 rolls around, the ink is dry. I assume that they want, as Phil Spencer has already noted. As soon as the ink dries, you'll see a lot of Activision stuff come to Game Pass.
Speaking of ink drying, though, do we think it's actually going to take the full 18 months to close?
No.
I know they gave that date.
I suspect it'll be earlier than that.
I don't.
No, they gave you the well, number one, they said fiscal year 2023, so 2022 because they definitely are going to close it within that fiscal year. But I think the reason they gave themselves some cushion there was just in case there is any grandstanding or you just never know when you're dealing with the government. Like sometimes that stuff can take a little bit more time. But I think the predictions are it's probably about a year. Maybe a little bit more than a year. So not that.
I don't know. I think March is the latest, but I'm 50-50 that they get it done by the end of the year.
It's
right?
still
Because it's January now.
Yep.
I'm thinking like December-ish. This thing is closed.
They could. It's not impossible that they get it closed.
Do we foresee a world where they have another one of those round tables where after they're close to closing,
1,000%.
Here's the new.
Oh yeah,
yes,
for sure.
And then we'll get another Game Pass.
That was the best thing they did.
Is Bobby K at that
Oh
round
hell
table?
no!
Or is it?
Hell no!
They know
no.
better.
That man, his name will be Mud. He'll be exit stage left.
No, because I'm saying like he had to go and appear on CNBC, even though Phil wasn't in the room with him, which was
That's because it wasn't finished. Because it wasn't finished. But when this is finished and they can talk out loud, he's gone. Because all folks will talk about is why Bobby Kotick was sitting on the panel.
You think he's gonna do that? Like he's gonna really turn into
They
Uncle
will throw
Phil
him off.
and throw out
they'll
Bobby
throw
K
him
like
off
Jazz.
the mountain. And don't worry,
Yeah.
he will land safely because of his golden parachute. He'll be fine.
Right.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
Thanos is gonna snap and he's
This
gone.
is what I'm saying. Like Phil's gonna turn into Uncle Phil and throw him out like Jazz. And Fresh Prince.
Yes. But see, the problem was Jazz always came back. That's the difference.
Yeah, true.
That's the difference.
That's very true. Jazz kept coming back. And he was welcome to come back until he said something stupid, then he got bounced again. I get you. I get you. Kotick is out the door. He's not coming back. But why would you after you've done what you've done, But okay, let's continue.
Right,
Has
right.
anybody played Time Shift?
No.
You don't remember Time Shift?
No.
Wow.
No.
I remember the
nobody
game.
remembered
I
Time
never
Shift.
played it though.
It is a game that like it is like almost what's his name, Gorilla's game before they did Horizon.
Okay.
What was that game called again?
Killzone.
Killzone. It is very much Killzone in its aesthetic a little bit, but it's a very unique game of its time. I'm surprised that people don't have as much reverence for it as some other games are. That's a title that I can foresee, somebody get to take a stab at and really try to, bring it back to its glory days, as it were.
See, I'm thinking outside the box. I think like everybody's like looking at just their IPs. Like I think there's a lot of crossover. I think the obvious one obviously is
the Time
Toys
Shift
for
box,
Bob.
by the way.
Toys for Bob did
Yes.
a really good job bringing back Crash and Spyro. I think that it to me that seems like completely obvious that they'll just work on Banjo next. That's been on everybody's lips for a long time. And again, I think Crash had pretty good engagement or sales when it was released. But then I think going outside the box beyond that, there is, they have this mobile developer now, and you have something like Viva Pinata sitting out there. Wouldn't that be as far as
that was
crossing?
after my time, but people have such a love for Viva Pinata, like such an actual deep love for that game. I have that collection that has Viva Pinata included. I can't get into it. But people love it. I want to get my daughter into it because people just love that game. I can see another one. They even had a TV show at some point. Am I wrong?
They did. I think it did pretty well too. And it's one of those games that I could see it. And I know Enrique tried to give me some crap on Twitter about this, but no, I see it having a little bit of that Animal Crossing-ish type of appeal to it, right? Like to that base.
What are you talking about? Viva Pinata?
Yeah.
Bring that to
That's
mobile.
what I'm saying.
It would
They
kill.
got the mobile developer, and then the other one, and this is where I got Cogs back on this. StarCraft Ghost. Remember that? How hype? Does anybody else like super hyped for that game back in the day when they used to advertise that?
Yeah.
And I would say StarCraft and Warcraft both have the name recognition and the lore that you could.
So go here with me,
spin-offs.
OBM. StarCraft Ghosts, right? Made by the Coalition. Think about
like
that.
it.
Ooh.
Same kind of style, same kind of
Yeah.
Gears-esque kind of vibe, But
Well, you
StarCraft.
got to put some
sidebar.
stealth in there.
Speaking
We need something to.
Speaking of Coalition, what if that side game they're working on is a Matrix game?
No, bro, don't dash my dreams, man. Don't even speak to me.
Just
Who cares about Matrix after the last movie? But
Hey now, let us not
don't
start
get me
that.
started.
All of a sudden, you're gonna have mic issues.
Fighting words. Fighting words. Fighting words. I'm not saying nothing.
I mean, whatever.
That
If
movie
you
was
like
great.
it, like it.
I will stand on my square to this day. I still love that the latest one. I do.
There's nothing would be like more of a for an IP than Matrix. But anyway,
Really?
Oh my God. Oh, you are gonna have to get castigated on
the real.
On the real. I don't think you want this smoke.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not a movie aficionado, so like my tastes don't really matter in movies that much. But it was just like whatever. But yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea. The thing I would say though is StarCraft Ghost, when it was being sort of promoted, was going to bring a lot of stealth elements. That was back in the day when Metal Gear and Splinter Cell were kind of at their height. So like I could see them trying to fill like that sort of void. And then again, Warcraft, maybe you go with the God of War type of thing with that. Like it's got a lot of lore. It's got again the name recognition. It could have an appeal across PC and console. That's the kind of stuff I'd be like looking for. Like
how about you let Sledgehammer like take a crack at Soldier of Fortune? Anybody remember Soldier of Fortune?
I only remember it because it was
gory and bloody, and it like I played that game way younger than I should have been when I played that game. So it still has like a thing in my mind about that game. Yes, these days they're becoming a dime a dozen of that type, but it had its place at that time, and it has name recognition. People will come back to, hey, is that Soldier of Fortune? Remake. It should be interesting. Oh,
yeah.
But
oh man,
I saw that slow-mo.
Don't get mad just because I'm not apologizing for doing like you.
I love you, man. You're the greatest. Absolutely.
Yeah, like they come out with a Matrix game, I'll shoulder shrug. Like, hopefully.
Are you serious? Yeah. You shouldn't be so latest. What have you done for me lately? Even if you don't like the latest movie, sure, put that to the side. That world deserves new stories.
No, you're right. There's a lot of potential that the movie
that world deserves new stories in it. Yeah. It doesn't have to be about the characters you know.
What they did with it.
Go ahead.
With today's technology, there is a world where that IP is better suited for a video game.
Yes, absolutely. What about you, Scrub Nurse? Pull some out of these lists here. What seems to get you excited?
All right, I'm gonna put my first one is I'm gonna pull because y'all might not be into it. We all are into it, but I'm thinking of on Game Pass, continuous DLC money making thing and bring in family is Guitar Hero. How many times you can get folks come in?
All of the plastic instruments still in my garage. My wife and I still play it from time to time. We love it. It's absolutely.
The kids come in, the family come in, college kids, everybody together on whatever night, come together, play the game. They have continuous DLC you can get. Hey, you want the 90s metal pack? It's this amount of money. You want this amount of pack? Look what happened when you first got the Wii. Folks were getting the Wii, didn't buy any games, and they were just playing
$200 worth of DLC songs bought. All about both Guitar Hero and Rock Band and DJ Hero. I was in the bag, sir. In the bag, yes.
Yes. And this is the thing. You put it in Game Pass, make it free with your subscription, and then folks are going to take that $60 that they will put for their game and buy packs or buy this. Or you're going to buy stuff with controllers because I had a bass. I had 2 guitars. I had the V guitar, and then I had the really expensive bass which had the double strum on there. Did you ever have that one where you could use the pro drums and strum?
I have the pro drums that cost like $300. I was an idiot. I bought those. Yes.
Well, I had an electric drum set that could connect to the
Yeah.
different parts. It was a real,
Yeah.
$1,500 electric drum set, and I could play guitar. I mean, DJ
Rock
here,
band.
not DJ, rock band as well. But yeah, Guitar Hero is my top on the
I'm
list
with
to
you,
put
sir.
in there.
With
That
you,
is a
good sir. For
perfect
sure.
game
For
for
sure.
Game Pass.
Yep. For sure.
Perfect for Game Pass. Um, my second, even though you might say, oh, it just came out or they just did a remaster or whatever, is of course WoW's, but I'm thinking Crash
Yeah, yeah.
Bandicoot. Put Crash in
Oh,
there,
absolutely.
and you'll do two.
Solidify
You'll do,
Crash
As the mascot.
the mascot, the
exactly,
kid
Fly in
mascot.
the face
exactly.
of Sony.
You take over.
Oh,
It's a little dirt. It's a little dirt in the eye, but also a lot of people are now. You keep hearing, "Oh, y'all are making stuff shooter. Y'all are making stuff gory." Listen, my daughter right now. I just got her Xbox Series S, and you know what she plays on it? Roblox. And for somebody who plays game like that, you're like, well, look at the fidelity and the quality of the visuals, but the kids love it. Put in a game that's kid friendly, the kids will love, the adults will love, the nostalgia will kick in. Everybody who wants or who even thinks about it is there. And then you can still keep in your Call of Duties, your all this other stuff, your Skyrims, all these games that you might say, "Ooh, it might be too gory or it might be too adult." You still have something there for the younger crowd and the kids to make parents feel comfortable if they need to feel comfortable about what their kids are playing. So, but if nothing else, Guitar Hero
I
and
hear
I
you.
think
Hey, by
Crash.
the way, quick sidebar, and I was thinking about this, and I forgot to mention earlier when we were doing the money talk. The amount of money they spent shouldn't be a super surprise because this money was already earmarked. They had $50 billion set aside to buy TikTok. Remember when that was going to be a thing? They
Mm-hmm.
had money set up
Mm-hmm.
aside to buy Discord, and then that didn't work out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this money is already like spent in their mind, and they're just trying to find the right things to spend it on.
This whole buying of Activision is, just think of a gigantic old redwood tree. When you go and look at the majestic look of an old tree, it's tall, it's high, the branches, the leaves, but you don't see what's underneath. All the roots, how
Yep.
deep this digs in, how far reaching it goes. You can take, everybody's looking at COD and everybody's looking at WoW, but look at all this. You're moving something like COD to your servers. You're bringing people over. You're looking at WoW. Get all of those people. Try to get them in Game Pass. If nothing else, you got them in PC. You done bought MLG. Now you got folks in the esports. You got all these games that you can take off COD and put them into something else. You're getting all this IP to put in Game Pass. It's not just one thing. It's far reaching, and we will not see the impacts like it was said earlier by OBM. 10 years on some of it. Some of it's going to be immediate, but some of it is going to be
So
way
this,
further down
as
the
we
road.
speak, this is me scrolling through the list of all of their release titles. I'm still on Commodore 64. I'm still on Apple II. It hasn't even gotten to the.
I
It
had
hasn't even
Commodore
gotten to
64.
the modern era yet, and they're still like 160 games in so far. Now again, not all these games, like they published Ghostbusters on the on the Sega Mega System, Master System, I should say. You know, there's so many things they can pull from at this point. You know,
Yeah.
not Rampage. Yes, I said it. Rampage.
Oh wow,
Rampage.
yeah. I love
They
Rampage.
published
You know-
Rampage. Wow.
So, do any of you guys have like a silly little it's not going to be a big business thing, but you just want it. You just want it anyway. Like when I saw Geometry Wars, man,
Like Sega.
Geometry Wars.
I saw.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
We'll skip right
when
past
Geometry-
Sega. Continue.
when Geometry Wars came out, man, I remember that was like on the Xbox 360.
It was
when
great.
Perfect Dark when Perfect Dark didn't hit the way it should have, so I wasn't really playing that much. My daughter was just born; she's only a few months old. I remember she sat in my lap. I'd be playing that. That's still my top 5 most played games of all time on Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Up there with all the Halos, basically.
I love Geometry Wars. You're absolutely right. It is fantastic. That little game, it still holds up. It holds up even now more than it used to, because now there's auto HDR. I put it on the LG OLED. It is fantastic geometry. To
I
this
think
day.
it got 120 frames or something.
It's
didn't it?
insane. Yes, it's even better now than it used to be. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. something like that. Yeah, and you're right, Scrubners. Like just thinking about the long term. I mean, now they got this platformer studio. Maybe you could bring back a Conquer, right?
Yep.
Something like that. And I look at a Hexen. You look at those graphics; they're very much like old Doom. You could see them using the id Tech, right? Like a partnership over there with id for like a Hexen game after they do Quake. So like just like those opportunities cross these studios. There's so many cool things that could come out of that.
So
yeah, id Tech could be like Xbox's underground Unreal Engine for people who don't use Unreal Engine 5. id Tech is
you're
remarkable
right, man.
as far as what it looks, especially with if you can have Doom for 120 hertz 4K. And you put that to a Call of Duty or some of these other type games.
Yeah,
blow folks'
people don't
minds.
understand how amazing id Tech is, and it's hard to fully understand the ramifications or how good or how bad that engine is. But just the thought of even on the OG like Xbox One, you can get solid frame rates on that thing. Like solid.
Yes.
On a well-equipped PC, you can get 300 plus frames per second on an id Tech engine game. Whereas the same kind of system will maybe get you a couple hundred frames on that.
But here, I think this other thing is the sort of technical experience that they're inheriting between what they got from Bethesda and now what they'll get from Infinity Ward. Those guys, I think, will go around to sort of be able to help
Percy Jackson.
other people within. Yeah. To help other people within for the other studios, right? So
yes,
it's not even just using the engine. Like there's improvements that the guys at id Tech could help Infinity Ward and vice versa, right? And when the coalition can go around to help people with things, so that sort of internal sharing of knowledge is even another big thing. And here's the other bigger part about acquiring a publisher. Those publishers can now maybe go out and get deals that maybe would have missed just at regular Xbox game studios, right? Because Indiana Jones is a publishing deal that Bethesda was able to secure, right? Or ZeniMax, right? And again, we know that this publishing deal used to be at Activision for Spider-Man, right? So there's other deals that Activision published the first Destiny.
Yeah, true,
right? So there's other deals that they can secure and bring into the ecosystem that will also help. Like second party deals that these guys will be able to secure. And those are new things that will be advantageous to.
Has anybody of y'all any of y'all played Blur? It is the Mario Kart game for adults. It's basically Mario Kart, but it's with real cars, the same mechanics. You drive over a thing, you get this, you could same. It is so much fun. Like so much fun.
Banana peel. I mean,
I'm sorry.
No. Can you drop
no banana peels? No banana peels.
Shells.
But it has the same gaming mechanics, and that was actually, I think you can even play that Bizarre Creations. You can actually play that in back compat right now. Give that to like Turn 10. Give that to Playground. Well, not Turn 10, but Playground, and let them go wild with that, because it's literally. Or you could actually make it a DLC part of Forza Horizon, a mode where you can do all of that. You could totally do that. There's just so many options. And then, of course, there's the ones that bring tears to my eye. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, things like that.
Well, so in the chat, I heard Slow-Mo say he wishes
Halo was on id Tech.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
It won't be the same because it's not a quarter shooter anymore.
It works. Yeah. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like for those that sort of wide open space, I don't know if id Tech has been able to demonstrate that it can do the same things that Halo is
really
doing.
Good at what it does, but what it does is quite limited.
But not saying 343 couldn't benefit from some of the technical expertise from the people that built id Tech. But it switching over to that engine, I don't know if you would have gotten the same kind of game.
No, you're absolutely right. It would be an interesting experiment, though, a la what do you call it? Like in between Halo 3 and Halo 4. What was that game again? My brain is missing me.
Are you talking about Reach or ODST?
ODST.
ODST,
Same world,
yeah.
different kind of game. Maybe you run that on IdTech and see what you get there. You know what I'm saying? Like these are some really interesting experiments that can be run, right? And that in and of itself can actually be done today, right? They're all in house already. You don't know what they're working on, so I'm hoping that something like that materializes. You know. But okay, we're rounding the bottom of our hour here. We're actually already into 3 hours, so we're about to close it up. But before we do, is there anything that's still left to be said? This is a conversation that will continue on for many more weeks as more of these executives continue to talk about it, as more of this stuff keeps coming up. I will say.
Ooh, wait, hold on a minute. I got something to say. There's a Downton Abbey game.
Yes, there is a Downton Abbey game.
I'm here for it.
And it's on Android.
Bring that back.
On Android.
Mysteries of the
Bring
Manor.
back Downton Abbey.
Yes. And
Hard pass.
He said hard pass. You know, I appreciate there's still about 54 folks in here who've been rocking with us this whole time. We appreciate you being here. The chat and the conversation is the information in the chat is still really cool, and people are still talking and bringing up their favorites and whatnot. You know, we appreciate you continuing to rock with us. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't. Please consider subscribing if it'll be advantageous for you. We do this every week, and we will try and do other different things. Other things are in the works. So we appreciate you joining our channel and continuing to support us. We thank you so much. And also, hello and welcome to all the audio subscribers. I've been getting a few audio subscribers and audio listeners, so thank you guys also very much. We are around at the bottom of the hour, but before we go, I want to thank you so much, Scrub Nurse, for jumping in here, for enjoying the craziness, the madness, all the gremlins, the tech support, all of that. But we still held on strong and we got it done, and it was a great episode. Thank you so much. How about you tell folks where they can find you, where they can see more of your work on the internet this week?
Oh man, no, thank you for the reach out. Like I've been saying, a lot of these folks in the chat, y'all see me in the chat as well with y'all. And ever since I first caught you guys, I think maybe like episode 3, maybe something like that. I said, man, I love this conversation. It feels like me hanging out with my friends when I was in college, debating on games, consoles, and it's relaxed. Everybody's having fun. We got a little bit of slander in here. So I was like, oh, I'd love to be a part of that. So, I'm glad we could link up, schedules right, and, anytime. I'd love to jump on with you guys. But, yeah, you can check me out on Twitter, ScrubNurse3. I have my gamer tag on Xbox as Scrub Space Nurse. So if you want to jump on and play some games and I'm available, let's do it. And then on tomorrow morning and most all Sundays, we have our Good Morning Xbox on Noof Nukem's channel. And that's going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. And we're going to talk all this stuff a little bit over again and get everybody's take on what's going on. Oh, yeah. Sante's in there. It's a little early. Get you some coffee, set your alarm card, come check us out. But yeah, it was a great show.
Thank you so much.
Enjoyed it.
And of course, and before I get to you, I see a lot of new voices. I see a lot of faces in the chat. Lady saying, thank you so much. I see you out there. You're appreciating the conversation. Thank you so much. Consider subscribing if you haven't. We do this every week. We appreciate you being here. And we actually love the chat because when we get things wrong or we miss something, they're the ones that correct us and remind us in real time.
Mostly Beast Mode.
Mostly Beast Mode, yes.
Corrects us in real time.
Beast Mode.
Beast Mode is the real time fact checker.
And he is always on point with that information. The man is prolific, for sure. One Bad Mutha. Thank you, sir. Thank you for once again joining us. Thank you for lending your well-reasoned arguments to our slanderous ridiculousness. Thank you so much for being here. Tell the fine people where they can find you this week and what else you've been doing with the Xbox era. Oh, I think you're on mute, sir. Has he been muted too? I hope not.
Did you give him the uni treatment?
Stop it. Oh, no. What's going on? You can't hear him. Oh, we're falling apart.
Oh,
No.
He got.
Are you muted?
It's that guest number 2 slot.
Guess number 2. How about you mute yourself and unmute yourself? What is going on? Now all of a sudden he's muted. This is crazy right now.
Okay.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, while you work that out, I'll just
Unmute
I'll go in.
yourself.
Switch him
No,
to one
it says you
and
muted
move
me
me
button on
around.
him, and I want him to unmute. Can he do that? There you
Yeah,
go.
he just unmuted.
We still can't hear you, huh?
We can't hear him.
Damn, what is going on with all of this? This is terrible.
Move him to one. Move him to one. Take me off of one so
Let me see if I
hear
can
him.
do this. This is crazy.
All right. While you're working that out, I'll just bring another point to this. You know, we talk about COD, we talk about potential, we talk about what we want to see come back, we talk about money and all those things. But I think the thing that gets missed maybe is this is not a slam dunk. Like, yes, the deal will close. No, it's not a monopoly, but it's not a slam dunk that Microsoft and Phil Spencer will be able to turn the ship around. We'll be able to get them to put out the content that we hope that they will, right? So, you know, so just because they're buying them, that's when the real work starts. And if it turns out positive and they turn the company around and they're green lighting the right projects and giving the talent there the right support, and we see those games, they should be commended for it, right? Because if this actually resulting in better games is going to be a team effort and is going to take work. And I don't want to hear none of that. I like the way when you do small publishers and you buy those and you give them your IP, that's the right way to do it. Because so many people have framed all of this discussion in terms of how you're supposed to grow as the way Sony told them it's okay to grow. People say they like buying timed exclusives only because that's what their favorite brand does. People say they like buying smaller studios and assigning them IPs only because that's what their favorite brand does. But there is a world where maybe it's not good to say, hey, I'm buying you, now I'm telling you what to work on. Maybe the better way to do it is say, okay, we have acquired you, now we're letting you work on what you want. Right. So and not saying either way is better or worse, but I don't think it helps anybody when we frame things only in the way that Sony does it, because that way we're saying we want uniformity in how these companies act and behave. So
we need just one.
Right.
Just one.
Acquiring Bethesda and acquiring Obsidian and greenlighting giving Bethesda the extra time to make Starfield and not turn it into a service-based game, and acquiring Obsidian and saying, hey, you can make Avowed and you can make Grounded. It's that kind of thing that maybe would not have happened otherwise. And that should be applauded, and that takes a team effort and it takes work. So them doing that and finding a way to produce worthwhile content is a net positive. And let's not pretend hard work is not being done to execute this vision.
Okay, OBM, how about you speak? Try again.
Oh
now.
no.
Yeah, see, and this time we're not even hearing him in Skype. He's not even in Skype, right? So his audio is not coming in through Skype. Like at least Xbox U, you could hear him in Skype, but then you couldn't hear him on the.
They timed us out. It's too long.
It's really weird going on here. It's y'all talking too long. Timed out. My bad, man. This is crazy. We are not going to be using Skype anymore. I'm putting my foot down. We're doing something else. This is not righteous. It works good for two people, no more than that. So somehow it's becoming a problem. So unfortunately, this is how it's going to be then, I guess. OBM, I thank you so much for being here. Everyone can find all of OBM's information in the show notes. I will make sure I prominently feature them, and I want folks to come check it out. The latest article he wrote on Xbox Era is actually really good, really well thought out, really well reasoned, as you can hear from the man here when he's allowed to speak. Very, very, very good information there. And I'll ask folks to continue following him on the various sources. Put the Twitters out there. We'll put, and join the Xbox Era forums. Very interesting stuff in there. I've actually read a couple articles, a couple posts posted by P3 himself in the Xbox Era forum. So it's righteous when the big man himself is in there as well. So we appreciate you for being here. And let's be quick before Scrubness.
I don't see Jim Dance Moves ever comment.
Yeah, I know.
Error, but that's
let's move on quickly before it shuts us off too, because I don't know what these gremlins are doing. They're slowly but surely silencing us.
Honestly, I think you have some keyboard shortcuts set up that might be. If
that was the case, you would still be able to hear him on Skype, right? But you can't hear him even Skype. There's something weird. Skype is the problem, people. Skype is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the problem.
Blame Skype. Problem is between the seat and the keyboard.
I used that on him once, and now he's gotten up his butt, and he's going to continue. He's
never letting you forget that.
But all right, Everborn Saga. Before we go, where can people find you this weekend? What will you be doing? Where will you be slashing and slandering your way? Go ahead, tell people where they can find you.
So obviously on Monday, we're going to be on Boom's show. We're going to try to get Boom to 10,000. If you are here and you're not subscribed to Boom's channel, please go right over there and subscribe. He is less than 90 subs away.
It should be done before the end of this weekend.
10,
come on, people. We got to do this.
Right? Let's make it happen. Although I would like it to happen on Monday, but do it now so it can definitely happen on Monday's show.
It'll be a good surprise. Yeah.
On the Reel is coming back. Hopefully,
after I work out all the
February,
logistics of this, then On the Reel will come back. Perfect.
Right. Definitely in February. I'll make Skype work, people. Don't worry.
Go ahead.
On my show. But listen. Mr. K Asante is rounding 400 subs here. So if we could get this man to 400.
I didn't even notice. Thank you.
I see 375, but I think you have more than that right now. I would also like to get to that number because me and Kay Asante also do On the Reel every Thursday, coming back in February. So check out the Everborn Saga channel on YouTube. Also check out Everborn Saga on Twitter, very active there. Also on Facebook and Instagram. All Everborn Saga. Now. 382. So look at that. 18 away from 400. And I think I'm only at 320.
But don't worry, On the Reel will be back with all the upgrades.
Check out the
beautiful,
Saga
and your channel count will shoot up for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. Less technical difficulties.
I hope so.
Also, Everborn Saga on Oculus, Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. And check out everbornsaga.com so that you can get the wonderful books we put out. We are making the MCU of fantasy and manga. We have 4 series. We're about to drop the 3rd, and then the 4th series will drop right after that, following different characters, all sort of viewing the story from their vantage point in the same world. There's a bunch of crossovers, and we're just growing out that whole universe, one issue at a time. We just did the Redlands Kickstarter, which was funded in the first 24 hours. And that's the next one we're getting ready to release, also in February. And then we have The Remnant coming, and then chapters 5 of Prince of Arcadia and chapter 2 of Ariel's Adventure are also launching this year. So a lot of big things on that front. But check out everbornsaga.com, and you can sort of pick up some of the books and see what we got going on there. And that's it, man. Everborn Saga everywhere. And again, subscribe to the Everborn Saga YouTube channel. There's going to be some creator-driven content this year because I want to start showing people if they want to get into the comic book business, this is what I did. Might not be the best advice, but it's what I do and what I learned and things that I wish people would have told me. And the same thing with game development. We're going to start doing some Unity tutorials there too.
So as for me, real quick before we go, you can catch me on the Shop podcast tonight. Mr. PTK Blam sent out that invite, and I was happy to.
You-
It is working.
Is it working?
See?
now?
It is.
It was
We can hear
you.
you.
You did it.
Oh my God! Guess what?
I
This
knew
was
it.
me.
I knew.
Son of a gun.
I'm sitting there messing with things. I'm like, I don't see anything wrong here.
I'm so sorry.
Vindicated.
Wow, look at that. I owe
No
you.
big
I
deal.
just wanted to let everybody in the chat know that was not Kay Asante. That was a
See, it
user
was
error.
between the keyboard and the seat, just not
I
mine.
just-
It's like Lady Shane
you know,
said.
I forgot that I. Never mind. Oh my God! You know what it is, guys. I haven't eaten yet. I got up a little bit early, because I'd be here
I'm
more often.
loving
If,
this is just
if,
fantastic.
Friday nights for my
No
up all
worries,
night,
brother. No worries
gaming,
at all. Not a problem.
sleep-in days.
Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how that is. But I did want to just say to you
Awesome.
guys, it was a pleasure. Scrub
Nice.
Nurse, it was great to be
Yes.
on a show with you.
Yes, sir.
Everborn
yeah.
and Kay Sante,
Oh, yeah.
we always just like to. I was looking forward just to coming on here, just
Yeah, hell
as
yeah,
an
hell yeah.
excuse to
This
bull
is always
crap
fun
with
to have
guys,
you on. This is
Like,
awesome.
It's just, I
At
knew we'd
least
talk
once,
about. So I
yes,
got at least-
y'all got
at
your
least 10
drinks
times.
off.
We did. You didn't let me down. So it was a good time, and I appreciate you already gave the shout out for Xbox Era.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that. You can also find me on Twitter at mother_1.
No
But anyways,
worries, brother. No worries.
thanks again.
See, vindication. It's not all me.
So I'm
Not
so
a problem,
sorry.
bro.
I don't know what I was doing.
It's all
I need
been
to go
crazy
eat.
on
That's
this
my
on this
problem.
technical stuff all day.
for
so
the
it's not a big
blooper
deal
reel.
at all. Not a big deal. But yes,
Yeah. It's all
PTK
good.
Blam invited me to the Shop podcast, so I'll be there on that show tonight. Most likely having more of these kind of conversations because, as you know, this is a thing that's not going to go away anytime soon. Not anytime soon, but we'll keep it fresh and keep it interesting. So if you happen to check out PTK's channel and check out the Shop podcast, I'd appreciate it. TKO Asante on Twitter. I hit 1,000 subscribers on Twitter. Not a big. Some people have hit that easily. Took a while for me to get there. I appreciate folks who are following me and all that. And we're getting some new subscribers on the audio podcast, audio version of this podcast, and I appreciate that. We're growing, little by little, and hopefully these technical gremlins don't hold us back. When this goes up, you can find all of the wonderful guests. You can find Xbox University, OBM, and Scrub Nurse's information. I'll make sure I put all that in there. One big complaint that people had is that they want to be able to scrub through the show and find specific segments. They wanted me to put that together. I did not know how to do that. And then I figured it out. So now that is also something that is going to be available once this show goes live. I appreciate everybody that's watching, all the people that have stayed through this entire show, and the people that tend to watch after the fact. We try to keep up. We try to do our best to keep it as PG-13 as possible. I apologize for a few that slipped for those listening in the car with the kids. But until next week, you will see us again. Have a good day. The rest of your weekend. Later, y'all.
Take it easy.